stand up. And for those that will not be able to do so, we can keep seated to glorify our God. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وقل الحمد لله الذي لم يتخذ ولدا ولم يكن له شريك في الملك ولم يكن له ولي من الذل وكبره تكبيرا الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد الله أكبر كثيرا والحمد لله كثيرا وسبحان الله بكرة وأصيلا لا إله إلا الله وحده أنجز وعدا ونصر عبدا وعز جندا ونعزم الأحزاب وحدا لا إله إلا الله ولا نعبد إلا إياه مخلصين له الدين ولو كره الكافرون اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وعلى أنصار سيدنا محمد وعلى أصحاب سيدنا محمد وعلى أزواج سيدنا محمد وعلى ذرية سيدنا محمد وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا الفاتحة بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. Oh Allah, we are here gathered this morning to dedicate this association into your realm of favor and mercy. Magodo Phase 2 Muslim Association. We are holding the inaugural launching today, Allah. We seek your blessing, we seek your grace and mercy to bless this association, to bless all Muslims therein, and bless all Muslims everywhere in the whole world. We acknowledge the fact that you are our benefactor, you are our creator. We continue to worship you, Allah. We don't have any source of assistance, any source of help except from you, Allah. We abide with that promise, and we continue to pay allegiance to you. On today, you will gather us together and declare our judgment among us. Oh Allah, bless all of us. Bless our guest lecturers from wherever they are coming from. Return them back to their destination in full security and protection. Of course, oh Allah, we have a lot of challenges in this nation, Nigeria. Oh Allah, bless Nigeria. Bless Nigeria. Bless this nation. Bless the federal government of Nigeria. Clear us of our iniquities. Bless all our efforts. Lead our leaders right. Let the followers be able to abide so that we can have synergy and work righteously to glorify your name, of Allah, through this nation. Oh Allah, you are the one that has the capability and capacity over all things. And that is where we are praising you. We continue to do so. Bless all our families. Bless us individually and collectively. Bless all our guests from wherever they are coming from and make them your righteous servant. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين ربنا لك الأمر في الأولى وفي الآخرة وأنت إلهنا وإله الأولين والآخرين وأنت على كل شيء قدير سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين صلوا على النبي المصطفى.
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. We say big thank you to the Imam Al-Sami Al-Kilali for that wonderful prayer. While the prayer was going on, we welcome the arrival of the Deputy Governor of Ogun State. That is our mother. The Deputy Governor of Ogun State extending pleasantries with our mother. Ewa Guru Kolon to be. This is the Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Engineer Nohimot Salako, who is you are most welcome. We thank you very much for coming. He has come here with a lovely husband. You can have your seat in the front with your wife too. Eba mi burúkọ Ọlọ́run tó bí o. Yes, while we were having the opening prayer, yes, there was an omission, yes, which I will tender my apology to our mother, who also happens to be the mother of the day. Yes, Almighty Allah wants it this way, that until Deputy Governor comes, when Deputy Governor comes, you shall be invited. I invited the mother of the day now, Alhaja Rahmatullah Salako. Eba wájú ìwà ìmọ̀, eba gbọ́dọ̀ tóbi fún wọn. Ìyá olóríire tọ́lọ̀ ń dá ọjà àdùnnú fún, tọ́lọ̀ ń dá ọjà oríire fún, ìdálẹ́ àwọn ọmọ insha Allah. Ẹ máa wọlé náà. Ọ̀gá ni ó ṣọ́ ọmọ mi rọ̀ bí ọlọ́run. Ẹ náwó sí mi, ọ̀gá ni ó ṣọ́ ọmọ mi rọ̀ bí ọlọ́run. Má ṣọmọ mi lẹ́rù ayé, abẹ́ ẹ̀lẹ́rù gbẹ́rù. Ọ̀gá ni ó ṣọ́ ọmọ mi rọ̀ bí ọlọ́run. Ìwọ náà wí tiẹ̀, ọ̀gá ni ó ṣọ́. Yes, mo sọ pé Deputy Governor Ogun State ti dé, sísítà wa, Her Excellency Ajia Noima Salako Oyedele. Mo tún wá pe màmá tó bí wọn lọ́mọ, wọ́n tún jẹ́ mother of the day. Ẹ jọ ìdùnnú wo ló tó rú ìyẹn Ọlọ́run? Gbogbo abiyamọ tó wà bí ọmọ Ọlọ́run ṣọmọ yín lọ́gàá. Wákàtí mo dá yẹn, ẹni bàbá Prof ni mo ti gbọ́ mi kan, Ọlọ́run jẹ́ ká rí pẹ́sà. I welcome the President, Islamic Education and Faith Initiative, Alhaji Noimdin Laide Oshikoya. That's the President. You are most welcome, sir. Kindly rise for recognition, sir. Where's the usher? Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Now that the opening prayer has been said, I move now to the next item, that is short Quran rendition. Imam Ridwan Abdul-Latif. Ridwan Abdul-Latif, please come forward and recite the Quran. Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم واعتصموا بحبل الله جميعا ولا تفرقوا واذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ كنتم أعداء فألف بين قلوبكم فأصبحتم بنعمته إخوانا وكنتم على شفا حفرة من النار فانقذكم منها ذلك يبين الله لكم آياته لعلكم تهتدون ولتكن منكم أمة يدعون إلى الخير ويأمرون بالمعروف وينهون عن المنكر وأولئك هم ولا تكونوا كالذين كفروا واختلفوا من بعد ما جاءهم البينات وأولئك لهم عذاب عظيم يوم تبيض وجوه وتسود وجوه فأما الذين اسودت وجوههم أكفرتم بعد إيمانكم ذوقوا العذاب بما كنتم تكفرون وأما الذين ابيضت وجوههم ففي رحمة الله هم فيها خالدون تلك آيات الله نتلوها عليك بالحق وما الله ظلما للعالمين ولله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وإلى الله ترجع الأمور كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر إن الكتاب ولو آمن أهل الكتاب لكان خيرا لهم منهم المؤمنون وأكثرهم الفاسقون صلى الله عليه وسلم.
صدق الله وبلغ رسول الكريم ونعم ذلك من الشاهدين قرأ لقول قراءة جيدة مجودة طيبة جزاكم الله خير الجزاء. The reciter able to recite the Quran perfectly. May Allah reward you abundantly and increase you in knowledge and wisdom. Ladies and gentlemen, the program proceeds. I welcome all our guests that are coming in. I mentioned earlier on Baba Alhaji Bashir Shitu when you ever move on see okay. Baba Alhaji Bashir okay. Come about what you mean? Just want to follow what you mean. I welcome my friend and brother, the Chief Imam Jamaat Islamiyah Magodo Imam at the Semi Kedir Olodiola. You are most welcome. Ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaba. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I proceed with the program, but before that, let's quickly have Madam Nabi. Mola ya salli wa sallim da'a imana abada ala habibika khairi taliki kulli meja domi mola ya salli wa sallim abada ala habibika khairi taliki kulli amin tazakuri jirani bizi salamin mazati tadamu ajaro min mukilatin bidami mola ya salli wa sallim ala habibika khairil fatun kiru hubba ba'da ma syahidati bi alayka wujulu damu'i wasakomi. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to item number 4. Welcome address by the chairman of the association. I invite Alhaji Sahab Muhammad Uthani for the welcome address. Bismillah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Distinguished invited guests, starting from Our Excellency Dr. Noima Salamoye and her husband Alhaji Bode Uyele, you are most welcome. Distinguished members of the high table, my fellow brothers and sisters in Islam, body of Islamic clerics here present, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased and honored to welcome you all to the maiden commemoration of the anniversary of the establishment of this association. The association, as you may recall, was founded to promote the cause of Islam among Muslim faithful, to propagate Islamic teachings and deepen Islamic beliefs and values among Muslims and non-Muslims. In addition, the association is purposed to forge brotherhood among all Muslims residents of this estate of ours. As expected, the birth of our association is greeted with great optimism, joy, and celebration, and there is a lot of expectations as well. But what sustains the possibility of fulfillment of expectations are hopes and optimism rooted in sincerity and nurtured in prayers. Therefore, when we review and look at our activities of the past 1 year plus of our existence, we have every cause to celebrate. For this association, our recorded activities in the past 1 year are a source of happiness and not a cause for worry. Now, what are these achievements? In almost 1 year ago, This association has consistently supplied and distributed foods in all the mosques in Magodo Phase 2 on every Friday. We've given Ramadan presents in a regular and constant fashion. We have distributed palliatives to ease the pains of the COVID-19 pandemic and assuage disruption to socio-economic life. All of these initiatives were made possible due to generous donations by a number of good Muslim brothers who desire to remain anonymous in the belief that their path is stricken with Almighty Allah, whom they believe will give them great rewards and grant them the required blessings to sustain the feeding program for an infinite period of time. According to Allah's grace, this is a teaching and a lesson in giving in humility. We want to see this opportunity of this auspicious occasion of today to appeal for support for the sustaining and expansion of the welfare program embarked upon by the association, especially the feeding project. The feeding project comes at a unit cost of 7,500 naira, 750 naira per plate, meaning that 10 plates will be 7,500. I take that again. The feeding project comes at a unit cost of 750 naira a plate, meaning that 10 plates will cost 7,500 and 100 plates will cost 75,000 naira. The feeding exercise takes days and inshallah shall continue to hold on a weekly basis as individual donors or contributors to the feeding project may decide. This project will be expanded in scale and in dimension depending on the size of the funding available. For example, at a point in the immediate future, there could be an incorporation of distribution of uncooked foods by which cereals, corns, rice, beans, sugar, salt, and such handy and preservation-friendly food items will be given out, in addition to the subsisting weekly feeding project. We pray that Almighty Allah, the merciful and the beneficent, deepen and expand the pockets of our donors and supporters. Amen. While the last 1 year was a foundation laying one for welfare purposes, it is appropriate for the association to aspire to embark on other important programs and projects that will have a lasting and more meaningful impact on the Muslim community in Lagos State beyond the perimeters of Magodo Phase 2. The implementation of these envisioned valuable objectives will be in phases, starting with the school project that will start this year, inshallah. To this effect, a sum of many millions of naira has been earmarked. Donations, contributions, grants, and other support will be needed to complement our efforts to accomplish the school establishment mission. In addition, the association is looking towards establishing a cemetery, ground, for Muslims to complement efforts being made in this regard by a number of other Muslim organizations. As the association grows older and with unwavering conviction to bigger and more faith-building, Islam-promoting, philanthropic and humanitarian projects will be conceptualized and implemented by Allah's will. My brothers and sisters in Islam, we are in our morning season in this association. Our afternoon has not come, let alone our evening. And so, my fellow Muslims, brothers and sisters, as we celebrate this good morning of our existence and await a more prosperous afternoon and an eventful evening, may the sun never set for and on this association, and may a dreadful night never come bi-Iznillah. Lastly, I would like to round off with the saying of Al-Qayyum in Mafarij al-Sa'ifin, which God does. If the one giving charity knew that his charity falls in the hand of Allah before the hand of the poor, the delight of the one giving will be more than the delight of the one taking. On this note, I end my speech. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Takbir. So we thank you to the chairman of the association for that beautiful speech in which he has just read now. It's in consonance with the hadith of the Prophet that says, Yadula Uliya Khairu Yad Sufla. The hand that gives is more beneficial than the hands that take. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Ladies and gentlemen, let me today invite Honorable Abdulkeni Okola Musoni to the high table. Honorable Okola Musoni Abdulkeni. Takbir. Gbogbo tí wọ́n bá wa sọ àkòrí ẹ̀ náà nípínlẹ̀ ìta fẹ́ ṣe lẹ́nu. A fẹ́ ṣe ìkówójọ, a fẹ́ kó owó torí Mùsùlùmí pọ̀ ní Magodo. Ṣùgbọ́n torí pé kò rọrùn ká máa ya ojúlé sójúlé pé ṣé Mùsùlùmí ẹ̀ wá sí mọ́ṣáláṣí tiwa. Mọ́ṣáláṣí tó wà ní Magodo púpọ̀, ṣùgbọ́n àwọn èyí tí wọ́n jẹ́ pàtàkì. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n kàn ká mẹ́rin àbí márùn-ún. IEFI ní street tower ẹni wọ́n wà. Jamaat Islamiyya ó wà ní Magodo. Igbarere Mosque ó wà ní Magodo. The one online ó wà ní Magodo. Also we also have the PSSDC. Bó jẹ́ jẹ́ báwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ló ń kírun bẹ́ẹ̀ Mùsùlùmí ní gbogbo wọn. Gbogbo ilé ìpátá. In fact, let me inform you, we have honorary members. Bàbá wa Professor Olóyèdé, honorary member Magodo resident ni wọn. Ẹ bá gbọ́dọ̀ tóbi. Ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ tóbi fún wọn. Bóyá lómi ò mọ̀ honorary member Magodo ni wọ́n ẹgbẹ́ wọn jiyàn wọ́n ti accept inú ìjọmọ́ wa ní Magodo ní bàbá wa náà Professor Olóyèdé wa. Nísìnyí, we have a chairman, item number 5, chairman's remark. The chairman of today's occasion is Otoba Ufatai Fadairo, ably represented by my brother and friend Haji Abdulhakeem Bashir. Bismillah. Kí ni wọ́n rán yín sí wa?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghayril maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil mursalin. نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن والاه أما بعد. Distinguished guests, yes seated, the Deputy Governor of the State, Engineer Naima Sako Ayodele, my father, Fadilat Sheikh Ishaq Olariwaju Oloyede, the guest lecturer, Sheikh Abdurrahman Olariwaju Ahmad. Every person here seated today, I convey the message of the chairman, who is unavoidably absent today. I stand in for the chairman, Alhaj Fatah Olasukami Fadairo, who desire to be here at all means, but as Almighty allows to say, is not here with us. But sincerely, he has asked me to deliver his speech. Says, number one, following the tenet of Sunnah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Sunnah of the Prophet. In Quran 3, verse 104, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلْتَكُمْ مِنْكُمْ أُمَّةٌ يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ وَيَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنكَرِ وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. صدق الله العظيم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us in the Holy Quran that let there be
a community of people doing what Allah has permitted, doing what, saying what Allah is against. I think if that is the foundation that we are beginning today, Magodo Muslim Phase 2 Muslim Association, I think definitely we are on track. And secondly, the chairman has also asked me to convey what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says. La yu'minu ahadukum an tuhibba al-akhi wa yuhibbu al-nafsi. None of you will be a believer until you love yourself. And by the time we look at the essence of our congregation today, if there is no love, the community cannot carry on. If there is no love, we cannot move on. There are various communities with various ideologies. But what we have today, Muslim and nothing but Muslim. I think it's always good to remain as a Muslim than nothing attached to him. And truly, the chairman is also saying that this we have started is part of effort that have been on in the past years. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not made it to be visible in this format. But alhamdulillah, today we are having our inaugural sitting. May Almighty Allah bless this congregation. May Almighty Allah expand our goals. May Almighty Allah seize all aspirations, the aims that we founded for this congregation achievable. And finally, the community will not work without support. If we have executive and we have followers, but we do not have, we have leaders that are no authentic followers. The leaders are not anything. So the chairman asked me to extend this also, that the support that the association needs, everything is not money, but everything is founded on money. If everything is not money, what do we need? We want capacity. We need individual. As a Muslimin, as non-Muslim. Muslim is just like the teeth or the fingers of comb. We all gather, we help one another. In as much as our companies, our offices, our businesses need support, also this Muslim congregation also need support. And by so doing, the support that will be needed from individual, please kindly do that. It is not only the chairman, it is not only the executive that will pilot the association. Like the MC was saying, the association is not only the resident, we also welcome the guests outside into the association. So, in this regard, whatever support that will be needed, henceforth, the chairman has made me to assure the community that inshallah we put it all will be done in good faith. And finally, part of my sentiment, I also want to recognize very humbly my own father, Alhaji Bashir Ship, who is also here with us. May God Almighty Allah preserve him, bless him, and make it longer than this. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Thank you very much.
Takbir. This is the representative of Ebola, active chairman. In fact, what I was not fair to mentor. Ever got on to me. Because thank you so much, my brother, for representing the chairman. While the chairman's speech was going on, they came in. Okay, we have two speakers here today. I welcome for the Dr. Sheikh Abdurrahman Olaniwaju Ahmad into our midst. You are most welcome, sir. فأهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم إلى هذه حفلة الميمونة. جزاكم الله خير الجزاء. Yes, we also have a big fish, our brother, our pride, the chairman, national chairman of National Hajj Commission. Can somebody say Allahu Akbar? Yes, he's also a resident in Magodo. Yes, I recognize and I welcome. In full regard, sir. Ẹjọ́ sá, mọ́kà ọdún yìí, ọlọ́run wá ṣe rọrùn fún wa o. Bá wá ṣàmì, àsìkò tí yìí, a máa lọ mọ́kà o. Dẹ̀ tún máa lọ another time sí. I welcome our father, our brother, Barrister Azikulai Olakunle Hassan. Tekbir. Ṣẹ́rí Magodo, ó kó àwọn èèyàn ńlá sínú. Gbogbo nǹkan tí chairman senior sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan pé oúnjẹ kankan 750. Àwọn ẹlòmíì lè bó èèyàn 10,000. Pé ṣé 750 ni ẹ bá multiply lọ́nà ní 1,000. Ọlọ́run á ṣe ní rọrùn. Inú Magodo. Àwọn ẹlòmíì náà ní Magodo tó hàn sí bí o. Ṣùgbọ́n gbogbo àná làjọ máa dá sí eléyìí tó wà nílẹ̀. Ọlọ́run á máa sọ ilé sàn lórí. I quickly move on now to the next item, and that is the first lecture. Before that, I recognize the representative of the former Deputy Governor of Lagos State, that is Alhaja Dr. Idiat Adebule, even represented here by Alhaja Rahamat Lediju. You are most welcome, ma'am. Alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I also recognize Alhaja Shade Alimi, the work of the chairman of the Education Committee, Magodo Muslim Association Phase 2. You are recognized and you are most welcome. The first lecture now, and the topic is romancing or surpassing the past. The dilemma of contemporary Yoruba Muslims. That is where will come up from our teacher, Professor Isaac Olarewaju Oloyede, the Chief Executive Officer, Joint Admission Matriculation Board. Okay, it has come to my notice that it has yes, the Prof has just little 25 minutes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Takbir.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. My sister, the Deputy Governor of the state, Dr. Engineer Naimot Galako, my brother, the spouse of our Deputy Governor, the chairman of the institution, chairman of NACA, chairman of Ulama of Asadu, because there are many chairmen here. The chief imam of this mosque and other functionaries of the Magodo Phase 2 Muslim Association. My brothers and sisters in Islam, particularly our lovely mama, who God has made to witness good things in life, and God continue to spare your life and continue anytime I see your daughter, I feel very proud that I'm a Bishop. Because she represents, she carries herself in a way that you will be proud that you are having a good representation. May God continue to be with her. Brothers and sisters in Islam, let me thank the association, particularly Professor Rurode, who was best able to be here. And even up to this morning, I felt it would be impossible for me to be here. Despite the fact that when I arrived because yesterday, I thought. But I have three things to apologize for. One is that you allow me to have my seat and give these lectures. That was because I had not closed my eyes since yesterday. Because I had to spend the night on some other things. Second, I have to apologize that I have to leave as early as I can. And because I have to be at another program that I promised that I would be. I promised to be there. So when I woke up this morning, or I didn't sleep, so waking up did not arrive. A friend recommended to me that I should take a tablet of aspirin that because I'm diabetic. After I took the tablet, I then called my wife saying, I took aspirin. She said, you have never taken it in the last 45 years. So it's better for you to manage yourself because you will react to it. I then told her that I was going to do the lecture. She said, when we get there, give the lectures. And since my wife, she has never misguided me, I always obey her. So, and finally, when the chairman of NACON came in, and I was calling him enthusiastically, many of you will think that I have no ulterior motive. I have. I've looked at the program, and I've seen that lectures will come, and questions will come after Imam Ahmad has given his lecture. And since I will not be waiting till the end of the lecture, I'm looking for one of my own lieutenants. He might be the chairman of NACON, may Almighty Allah be with him. But I believe he can also take my questions on my behalf. That was why I was asking. When I said you should sit here, I said no. He didn't know that I was dressing him because of the role he's going to perform for me. So I thank you. I'm going to do this lecture. Let me put two issues. The first word there, romanticizing. First word, romanticizing or surpassing the past, P-A-S-T, the dilemma of contemporary Yoruba. What I intend to do in this lecture is to say that we, the Muslim, contemporary Muslims, we have a long way to go. And I want to use the medium of history to say that our fathers were great. We have no reasons to be great. I want to call our attention because I was talking about June 12th. And my granddaughter asked me, Grandpa, why are you talking about this Abiola? I said, have you not read about Abiola? I said, no, I've never been told anything about Abiola. Which means, in our own generation, there might be people, when you talk of Abiola, they will be asking you, not to talk of Babakemi Awolowo. So we need to us, ourselves, perhaps if we forget roles that forefathers had played in the propagation of Islam. And I'm not saying this from the point person, because Almighty Allah says, "Bana a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Ya ayyuhan nas, inna khalaqnakum min dhakarin wa untha wa ja'alnakum shu'uban wa qabaila lita'arafu inna akramakum atqakum alimun khabir." That is Quran, Surah Al-Hujurat, verse 9. Almighty Allah says, "O mankind, we created you from a single pair of a male and a female, and made you into nations and tribes, that you may know each other, not that you may despise each other. Verily, the most honored of you in the sight of Allah is the most righteous of you, and Allah has full knowledge and is well acquainted with what you do." If you look at this verse, it makes it clear to you that the fact that we are in tribes is a reality, but we should not make the color, the identity of a tribe, an overriding issue. But the fact that Islam recognizes that we have different tribes and different groups. What we are saying here in effect is that when we talk of Yoruba Muslims, you can remove Yoruba and put Hausa, you can put Nupe if you like, you can put Ijebu or Eba into that to replace Yoruba. The truth is that we are Muslims, and as Muslims, what applies to Yoruba, we are only contextualizing it to Yoruba. It applies to almost all groups of Muslims in this country. I thank the organizers for inviting me, and I go on to say, for those of us who are 60 years and above, we will be bothered about the state of our society today. As I was preparing this lecture, I read about the incident of some young boys, 2 or 3 of them carried Muslim names, who killed somebody said to be their girlfriend and was cooking the head. And they claimed that they got the recipe from the internet. So, if you have people, by whatever reason, even if they are not Muslims, by whatever reason, that bear the name, they bear Islamic identity, and they have the conscience to do that, then we have a lot to do. And it is therefore imperative to look over our shoulders and see whether we should really be romanticizing the past or work harder to surpass the achievements of our predecessors, because such things are indicative of the fact that there is a decay in the society. While talking about romanticizing or surpassing the past, the dilemma of a contemporary Yoruba Muslim or of contemporary Yoruba Muslims, there are 2 words there, Yoruba Muslims. And who is a Muslim? Not everybody who says I'm a Muslim or carries the name. In fact, many of you in Yoruba land, you have this wrong impression that until somebody bears a Muslim, not only in Yoruba land, even in northern Nigeria, it's even more entrenched there. That you think the structure, the externality matters than the intrinsic, and that's why some of you, even those who are not Muslim, you look for Islamic names there. General Abdul Rashid Obasanjo, you create names for them because you think that until somebody bears a Muslim name, he will not probably be a Muslim. This is not so. There are many people in this country who are not Muslims, and they were never Muslims. But it's common in the north. Anybody who is a twin or twins, they call them Hassan and Hussein. That's why you have Father Hassan Peter. Not that his father or his mother had ever been. Anybody in the north who bears Rebecca, they call the person Rifkatu. And it looks like a Muslim name of Rifkatu. When you see someone like the secretary to the government of Nigeria, there are so many of them. So what I'm saying is that a Muslim is not something that goes by the name. I have a friend, a professor at the University of Ilorin, Wahab Johnson. There was a time we went to an Islamic program, and somebody was asking me, "You don't see, you don't see why she." And I told the person, Johnson is more Muslim than you. So the fact is that what makes a Muslim is somebody who submits himself to Allah, who subscribes to the Quran, who agrees that not just by mouth, but who is ready to be a Muslim indeed. A Muslim is somebody who works with other Muslims to achieve the goal, not somebody who feels that I am a Muslim but in my house. You see so many places God will say do things together. Pray along with those who are praying. That shows that, and if the Fatiha that you read is not individualized. Iyaka na'abudu, not iyaka a'abudu. You will worship. Why iyaka nasta'in, which is from you, we. Ihdina, guide us, everything in plural. That tells us a story that Muslims are stronger when they work together. I go to the word Yoruba. What does Yoruba mean? You can define Yoruba as people of Osun, Oyo, Kwara, Kogi, and so on. And you can also find Yoruba in Togo, in Ghana, in Sierra Leone, in Gambia, in Liberia, because they have cultural links with the Yoruba, with their Yoruba roots. This is also true of Yoruba descendants in Brazil, Cuba, El Salvador, Haiti, Trinidad and Tobago, and other Caribbean states. The major Yoruba subgroups in Nigeria include the Oyo, Egba, where I come from, and probably Ife. You know, I didn't mention them, and I didn't mention Remo. So, Igomina, Ogu, and Ketu. Now let me tell you, I said I didn't mention Remo, I didn't mention you, to make those one point. If you go on ethnic line, on division, you will continue to be further divided. In Nigeria, we are divided into north and south, if it's convenient for us. Assuming they ask the Yorubas to form a nation of their own, the Oyos and Ife will not agree. The Egbas will say we are superior. Okay, as small as Ogun State is, ask Ogun State to be a nation, there will be problem. As small as Ogun State is, there is a local government in Niger State. It's bigger than, by landmass, bigger than the whole of Oyo, Ogun, and Osun together. It's a local government. So what I am saying, in effect, is that if you ask the Yorubas of Ogun to stand on their own, there will be trouble, because to disagree, to struggle is innate, is intrinsic in man. When you say we go, then we start it. I say Ijebu, some people are Ijebu, some people are Ijebu. Even when you leave Ijebu, they will say some are Ijebu proper, some are rebel. If you leave the Egba will say they are Egba, some people are Egbado, and they will say they are not Egbado, they are Yewa. Even if you leave Abeokuta alone, we from Ake, we look at people from Owu as if they are second class. That is the truth. Even in your house, your own house, you will still see this issue of I am better, and that is to underscore the point that Allah has made, that that's not the purpose of creating you as Yoruba or Hausa. It is just for the purpose of identity, to form you into group so that you can recognize one another. That's just it. And I've said this also, that to say that a Yoruba that I use here is not a biological fact. I'm not saying it biologically. Yoruba in this lecture, I am using it to mean all those people who are resident in what is called Yoruba land. Whether biologically or not, they belong to the Yoruba race. When we talk of the Yorubas, some people claim that there are three theories of where the Yorubas came from. There is the Arab origin, those who claim that they migrated from Mecca. There is the theory of indigenous origin, that we didn't come from anywhere. We emerged, this is where our forefathers were. And there is the other one, the Ife theory, that they descended from heaven. Also, Muhammad Bello, in his book, Infaikul Mesur, Fita Biladi Takru, and Saburi Diobaku all support the theory that we came from Arabia, from Saudi Arabia. Samuel Johnson also confirmed this initially, because initially he believed and he started writing in the Arab source of the Yoruba. But later he changed, and that is why some of the Christian historians claim that the position of Samuel Johnson was influenced by his Christian view. Because Richmond saw the fact that Yoruba did not come from Saudi Arabia by Samuel Johnson in his later life as Christianization of Yoruba is unquote. Some modern historians who are not in favor of this theory, they claim that Johnson viewed this matter from a religious point of view. But to me, Samuel Johnson did more than Christianization of the Yorubas. He demonized Islam and the Muslims. For example, I'll just give one example. When you asked a typical Yoruba man, what's the meaning of Friday? He will say Ojo Eti, the day of failure. When you say Sunday, Ojo Aiku, the day of eternal living, you can see from that alone that what is called scholarship in language of Yoruba had been tilted against the Muslims. I went into giving the origin while Muslim Yoruba Islam came to Yoruba land. And I said, the Yoruba's contact with Islam dated back to the early 14th century, when Muslim traders from Wangara, from Mali, ventured into part of the larger Sudan, the area known today as West Africa. Islamists, and that's one of the reasons why the Muslims were being called Elesin Mali. In the MSS in those days, you remember that we had to mount a campaign. Ẹyẹ pé Mùsùlùmí ló ní Màlẹ́, ẹlẹ́sìn Ìsìlámù kìí ṣe Màlẹ́, ẹlẹ́sìn Sáfíà kìí ṣe Màlẹ́, ẹni bá pé Mùsùlùmí ló ní Màlẹ́, kòkèrú kò bẹ̀rẹ̀ aláìmọ̀kan, kòkèrú kò bẹ̀rẹ̀ aláìmọ̀kan. That's how Imale came, innocently, and some people started interpreting it as Imadile. And the Muslim students had to stand up to say, we are Muslim, that we are not Imale. When this happened, scholars from Sokoto and the Ilori Emirates, because some of us, we must also know history properly. There are people who claim, my father, my mother, I'm sure, my father and my mother, as far as I know, they are from Abeokuta. There is no doubt. And in Abeokuta, I'm also from Ake. My father and mother are from Ake. You can know what that means. But the fact is that Islam is one. There is a trend where some Yoruba Muslims will say, àwọn Hausa kan kọ́ wa lẹ́sìn o, àwọn bàbá wọn kọ́ ló kọ́ wa lẹ́sìn. That is not true. That is also not true, because some of these things will parade. There is internal evidence to show that they participated in training our forefathers. If you go to any Arabic school here, you will be hearing something. Aleku Batasha, Amiruwa, Akarimu, Tali, Samisonu, Akiremi, Ababa. Is that not Hausa? There is nothing called Ababa. Ababa means ha that is big. Akiremi means ha that is small. So they were putting the Hausa language into teaching us even Islam. So if you wake up one day and say they never thought of Islam, there is internal evidence that they thought of. So what I'm saying in effect is that Muslims work together irrespective of where they come from. They never thought that somebody is a Yoruba, somebody is from Hausa, and we collaborate. With our forefathers collaborated with one another. Many of the people who are now Lagosians, they know where their fathers came. Some came from Rupe land, and now they are the real landlord of Lagos. Now, I went into how Muslims fared under the British rule, 1861 to 1960. I said, before and during the colonial administration of the Southern Protectorate of Nigeria, Muslims, Yoruba Muslims have formed the nucleus of the traditional and economic elites in many parts of Yoruba land. Some of the traditional Muslim elites of the time included Kakanfo, Muhammadu Obajoke, Laalusa, who later became the Baale of Ibadan, Oba Adigun Ladoju of Ede, Oluwo Lamuye, Chief Abbas Williams of Badagry. The first Muslim king in Yoruba land known to history is Oba Ali Ateogoye, the Ewi of Ado-Ekiti, who was enthroned in 1836. Oba Lamuye 1860. Ìyàndá ọlọ́kọ̀ Ìnẹ̀pẹ́ 1875 and so on. Ọba Àlí Oyèwọlé the 7th Akin in 1795 and so on and so on. It was Abibu Lagungu of Ede who introduced the application of Sharia in Yoruba land during his reign. The evidence is there. Everywhere you go in Yoruba land, the mosque and the palace, they are always very close. Because palaces in Yoruba land, to be close, started with Arelatosha, who directed that Ojoba Central Mosque be built near his palace. The same thing, even where I come from, in Abeokuta, the Ake Mosque is inside the palace. There is no saying the fact that an enduring social event that actually adds color to Islam since the pre-modern to the contemporary has been the Ojude-Oba ceremony, which is held in Ijebu-Ode. That also tells you some story. Talking of the economic superstructure in Yoruba land, Adelaide can be controverted that Muslims unarguably were the wealthiest merchants in the Lagos area, especially at the last quarter of the 19th century. Many of us are poor today, economically. Our forefathers were not poor. For example, one Mustafa was said to be a silk and cotton merchant, while Yoruba activists have another mention of a certain Kanu Cotton, who was said to have worked as a sole agent of many European firms. You hear of Magodo Shitabe. Apart from being a businessman, a manufacturer, Shitabe also played a major role in the of Lagos Central Mosque. This was in addition to the magnificent mosque that he built, which is called Magodo Shitabe Mosque. There are many things, many. Even those of us who are, you hear people like Alhaji Animasham in those days. It was from him I first memorized a verse of the Quran. I was young. He would say, "Èèyàn bí ni mí o, nígbà máa ná bàṣàrú mi sílùkùn ìwà ìlàyà, ànámọ́ ìlà òkun ìlà òwáyé, àmọ́ kánà yẹn ju ìkọ́ àrọ̀ bí ìbádé àmọ́là sọ́ọ́lì ha, wọ́n láti ṣe kìmí ìbádá tí rọ̀ bí àdá èèyàn bí ni mí o, ntọ́nà mi ni mo wí o." That's how the man made the lecture. So enticing. Even when it comes to being civil, mention should be made of Chief Sanusi Adebisi Giwa Idikan, 1882 to 1938, who was a wealthy cocoa man and he was paying tax for all male adults in Ibadan. All male adults. During this time, he noticed that it was quite difficult for many Ibadan residents to pay their tax. As soon as they defaulted in the payment, they become subject of ridicule and derision. They also ran the risk of arrest and detention. There was a popular song at the time which goes thus: "Owó orí ti dóde, bàbá wa ló kọ́kọ́ san, àwọn ọ̀dẹ̀ tí kò san wọ́n ń bẹ láti wọlé ní màkú." That is, Muslims were in the forefront of paying their tax. The colonial administration usually calculate the tax due for all taxable adults in Ibadan and would thereafter proceed to Chief Adebisi's house at Idikan to pick the bill. This was a spirit of philanthropy in Islam. Chief would then call his secretary to bring out the list of people who are taking notes from him, destroy the paper, and free his debtors. Another prominent and wealthy Ibadan merchant of that era was Salami Agbaje. Salami Agbaje was an Arab northern migrant in Iseyin, while his mother hailed from Ibadan. He was a timber merchant who invested in the education of his children. Among his children were Dr. Saka Agbaje, the first medical doctor in Ibadan, Chief Abdulmojid Agbaje, the first lawyer in Ibadan, and Abu Ghani Agbaje, who later retired as Justice of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, and Yekin Agbaje, the senior advocate of Nigeria. In Ijebuland, you can talk of Balogun Kuku. Chief Kuku was a most influential business Muslim personality. As I mentioned earlier, he introduced the popular annual Yoruba. His contribution to Islam in Yoruba land is inestimable. I now go to transfer and consolidation of power by the colonial administration. The Yorubas were proud before colonial administration because of what they were. Colonialism brought challenges and opportunities for Muslims. Ordinarily, the colonial power was Christian and thus disdainful of Muslims as Islam was considered a challenger to their civilization and their religion. The first major issue that confronted Yoruba Muslims was the deliberate policy of systematic rollback of Islamic legal culture by the British colonial power. It will be recalled that Islam had blossomed in Ede, Ikiru, Ewo, Epe, and other surrounding areas long before the British came in. They introduced the English legal system, and particularly they introduced what they call repugnancy doctrine. It was the repugnancy doctrine that the Islamized even the Sharia in Nigeria. It is through repugnancy doctrine that all that is Islam in the Sharia were taken out. It's simple. Repugnancy doctrine simply says any law that is not incompatible with the British law or their own sense of justice, equity, and fairness is declared null and void. Islam has its own way, its own methodology. I'm not aware that in non-Muslim communities, they will insist, despite the fact that there are references to it in the Bible, they will not insist that the husband must provide for the wife. They will say two of them to work together and contribute, even rent, you can pay together, you can have joint accounts, you can have. Islam comes to say no. Ẹni tí ò bá tọ́ ọmọ pè ìgbàlá tí ò tọ́ ọmọ ń ṣe ìgbàlákàrà. If you are not wealthy enough to marry a wife, you can marry half a wife. Don't ask me how you marry a half a wife. Yes. But he who must marry a wife must marry a wife. So when Islam places the obligation on the men and gave them every responsibility, when you come to inheritance, then what will come in terms of what the heirs will take will also be based on responsibilities assigned to them. But to them, anything that does not fit to them, for a man to have double of a woman is considered illegal, unfair, unjust, and so on. I think our women are wise now. Muslim women are wise because you have seen that what they will do is to dehumanize you. I'm not saying dehumanize, dehumanize you. Everything that makes you a woman is being taken away from you. I don't want to go into that. You remember Shita Bey presented a petition to the governor, and he said, and I quote, Because many of you that people will say, pé àwọn alákatakítí kan náà dé náà sọ̀rọ̀ Sharia. Àwọn kan Chitabe said to the governor immediately after the Amadi, he said, Your Excellency, we be pleased to provide with your wisdom some means whereby Muslims of this colony may be placed under a similar footing and have and enjoy the same legal rights and privileges as their co-religions and fellow subjects, religionists and fellow subjects in India have the felicity of duly enjoying. What is he talking about? He's saying that because the Muslims of India were allowed by the British to practice their Islam and to have Sharia courts, he was asking for the Sharia court. And the colonial governor did not. The chief judge rather softly addressed the delegation of Muslim leaders by saying that the court will permit expert opinion of Muslims on any matter concerning Islamic personal law. But Muhammad Chitabe countered and said, what the Muslim wants, because he talks in parity, he talked in parity, they didn't hear. He said, what the Muslim wants is to hear the Quran read. They want people to decide according to their... Anyway, Sharia trends in Nigeria. In this paper, I will make some available to you. I have traced Sharia trends in Yoruba land. I have referred to a book I wrote in 1985. And I have come to what I said, the current demands of the Muslims on Sharia and the Muslims of Yoruba land. And I then went into Lagos Muslim elites of the 19th century and the 20th century. I called attention to what the issues were, particularly in Lagos. You remember the water rate crisis, Central Mosque crisis, and Oluwa land case. I've mentioned this, and how Eleko, Ishubai, and the chief imam, and so I went to all to prove one point, that Muslims were struggling. Our forefathers were struggling. They have their problems, some of them shine. Then, Islamic propagation. I called attention to the role played by some Islamic scholars. I mentioned Sheikh Tajul Adam, Sheikh Amoldin, Bisri Akalara, Akabila Nasser, Yakubu Al-Mukhtar, Sheikh Adam Abdullah Al-Nuri, and many others, the contribution they made to the development of education. I called attention to the Ahmadiyya movement, the Ahmadiyya mission, the Ahmadiyya movement. What are you saying? You might be talking about Ahmadiyya. They don't, I know that they are gossiping about me. Because my late father died as chief imam of Ahmadiyya Muslim mission. So there is no way I will not talk about Ahmadiyya movement, and which later became the Awad Islam movement, plays significant role in the development. Imam may like it. The Ansar-ud-Din Society of Nigeria, previously known as Ansar-ud-Din, is the biggest and most popular Islamic society in Yoruba land. It was founded in 1923 and so on and so on. And we'll talk about what they did and why they did what they did. Then we spoke about the Muslim Student Society of Nigeria. That was the greatest movement, the greatest mass movement of Muslims, not only in Yoruba land, but also throughout the country, proud to the existence of NOSFAT. We are saying in this lecture that we need to look at the MSS. Is it what it was? Is it what it should be? So if it was great, if there are problems, let's fix the problem. Then I did a contemporary appraisal of contemporary Yoruba Muslims. And I called them that notwithstanding the problems, we are not doing enough. I called attention to why we must have Sharia in Yoruba land. And I called the major problems they have poor networking, particularly between the elite and the masses in Yoruba land. And I also mentioned the effective Islamization by the media, which we need to look at the media houses. How many are owned by the media? Muslims will prefer to marry 4, 5, even 10 if possible, if not that Allah is your wife, rather than spending their money producing what will help in the propagation of Islam. Looking to the future, and I make the following recommendations. 1, reactivate and recalibrate all existing Muslim organizations in Yoruba land to make them more responsive to the challenges of today and the future. Everybody wants to be Amir. Everybody wants to be Amir. And that's why you have all sorts of mosques that are not mosques. Almost in every compound now, there is a mosque. Therefore, destroying the communal spirit. Everybody who builds a house, they now build once more the garden mosque in front of his house, where he himself will not be praying. Number 1. Number 2, identify and connect with the Muslims at the grassroots for effective mobilization. I'm the Secretary General of my grassroots program. But when you ask me, how effective are we? Because, yes, we represent the voice of the Muslims, but how connected are we with those we are mobilizing? Number 3, coordinate all existing ad-hoc tank groups in Yoruba land for a consolidated and coherent articulation of Muslim priority for the growth of Muslim Ummah in Yoruba land. There is movement. Muslim came around 12 years. There is a need for everybody in Yoruba land to collaborate with Muslims and see that Muslims plays a significant role in that. When you see, some people say they are the voice of the Yorubas. What do they call them? Afenifere. But when you see the color of Afenifere, any representation, if they are asked today to nominate 10 persons to come to a national debate to represent Yoruba, I can bet it with you, they have never recommended more than 1 out of 10. In some cases, when they are asked to put the 6 of them will be nominated. So, and they are very indeed. Develop a master plan to rescue and support Muslim minority areas, especially in Ondo and Ekiti states. Work to redesign a new curriculum for the Islamia schools. When you see, I was teaching this program, 2 or 3 Islamia schools were advertised. And when you see the curriculum, you know that everyone has his own curriculum. This should not be so. Let the Muslim community determine the type of Islamic education they want for their children. Delegitimize Daladi. I say it again. Delegitimize Daladi and make people to have their occupation so that the elite will not continue to manipulate our imams. So let people have what they will be doing. Because if you do not do that, for somebody who is teaching and you are paying him as a teacher to teach something, but not as a malam or as an imam, you are paying him, is working and paying him adequately, paying him a salary that you will be very proud of. But to lead them to gallery and now come and say, Afa is having something with my wife. How will you know? When a woman go to Afa and sit with Afa in a dark room and say he's consulting with the Afa. So, my dear brothers and sisters, I want to be that it is the duty of every one of us to see to the propagation of Islam in Nigeria. And that's what you have started very well. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Distinguished and gentlemen, for this comprehensive lecture, can we quickly have a standing ovation for Professor, please? Let's have a standing ovation, please. Can somebody say Allahu Akbar? Can somebody say Allahu Akbar? Can somebody say Allahu Akbar? You can have your seat. Please join me in reciting the Khadija and Surah Al-Quraysh. Professor, that was earlier on, has taken aspirin this morning, and that he will not be able to deliver the lecture. While 25 minutes was given to my father, and he has spent over an hour. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Khadija akun rasulun min anfusikum azizun alaykum wa anittum harisun alaykum bil mu'minina raufur rahim. Faqul hasbi Allah alayhi taqatu wa rabbul arshil azim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ila fi Quraysh falyaqudu rabb hadha albayt alladhi at'amahum min ju'in wa amanahum min khawf wa la hawla. Special prayer for the teacher, Sheikh Adam. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakun lahu kufuwan ahad. Yes, let me quickly mention now. The lecture is a comprehensive one. We want everybody to leave your email address and to be sent into your box, inshallah. Yes. We are publishing this particular thing. Ṣé tí ẹ mọ̀ pé orin tá a máa ń gbọ́ pé owó orí tó dóde ò bàbá wa ló kọ́ san. Àwọn ọdẹ tí yóò san wọ́n ń bẹ láti mọ́lé ní mọ̀kó. Àṣé àwọn mùsùlùmí àwọn ni wọ́n ń ṣe fáàrí pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. Owó orí tó dóde ò bàbá wa ló kọ́ san. Thank you very much, sir. Ọmọ àbá aṣọ bàbá wa dé ọdún ànábì ọmọ. While the lecture was going on, Professor Abdulhakeem Molani, Chairman, Large Muslim Community, has come very much, is around. Also, Professor Ismail Musa, the Chief Imam, Unilad Mosque. Please, wherever you are having your seat, please kindly signify so that we know you are around. Sheikh Musa, Professor Musa. Okay, what about Professor Hakeem Molani? Also, we have representative of the Speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly, our Right Honorable Rashid Obasa, ably represented by my brother, Honorable Lukman Oluma. Rise for recognition, please. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Also, I have Honorable Muslim Folani. What's one name? Honorable Folani, you're welcome, sir. Also, Mama Wadada, former Amira, National Amira, Form 1, Mama Alaja Kaira Sodi, what's one name? Thank you very much, man. Also, Otuba Latif Shekoni, you're recognized. Otuba Shekoni, we thank you. Also, Ahaji Aliluafi, everybody, sir. Eguni Anosa. Also, let me recognize our mother, Haja Professor Halima Berumbe, Amira Form 1. Professor Berumbe. Kini ta fi ojú yóò jẹ́ ká rojú ọlọ́ba àṣẹdára fún ọ. Bákan náà màmá wa alájà àgbàlájọ bí ẹ ó palẹ̀ náà. Thank you so much. This particular local government that we are is Iposisheri LCDA. We have a leader. We have a capable chairperson representing us in the government of Lagos State. Join me in welcoming Mayoress Samia Abolani Bada. Tekbir. That's the mayoress of this wonderful local government. Olúwa ní fi sílẹ̀ o. Ọba tó ní kẹdùn wò ẹ ní dọ̀tí láéláé. Ọlá àlàáhàwùlà. Ìlà ìlà. Ẹ̀yin màámi alásàlátù. ẹ sọ fún ọ pé ọlọ́run má jẹ́ ẹyọ̀ ṣubú níbi àmì olúwa ọlọ́run má jẹ́ ẹyọ̀ ṣubú ẹ ti ga iwájú lọ la ó máa lọ. ẹ bá kúrúkọ ọlọ́run tóbi a kò fẹ́ sọ ọ́ di orin mọ́ mi lọ́wọ́ a ṣe ń bọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ̀mí náà wà dé fún yín ẹ bá mi ò má ná mi o. ní ìṣẹ́jú méjì àbí tí ò ní tó mẹ́ta máa lọ sọ́dọ̀ mayores torí chairman ti bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ ní ṣókí afẹ́kẹ́yìn náà tó ń bá wa sọ gbólóhùn méjì gẹ́gẹ́ bí alága wa obìnrin bẹ́sẹ̀ nípa.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. When I thought I don't have much to say today, that to just encourage us to be steadfast even in Islam. As a Muslim, we should always be proud of ourselves, and I want to give kudos to the people who organize this association, because it's really a privilege to be here for all of us, and it's something we should encourage more even in our society. As a Muslim, anywhere you are, you should be able to relate to each other. And as a Muslim like myself, I'm always very proud of myself. And each time I'm on that seat and I see any Muslim brother or a sister that comes around for any assistance, I will always, attend to them, because we need each other in everything. We need each other, even to counsel each other. We need to advise each other, and we need to support each other. When you see a Muslim being, maybe you are in a position to help, please and please do not even hesitate to do this. So, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you.
Takbir. We say big thank you to our mayors. You happen to be our pride. We are very proud of you any day. May Almighty Allah continue to strengthen you, give you support, and take you to high profile, put you ahead of where you are today. People should come out your long will want to buy place of the city. We thank you very much. Let me quickly recognize Honorable Commissioner for Honorable Maruf Abifatah. You're welcome, sir. You can see we have a lot of residents in Magodo that live in Magodo that are going to contribute to this particular launching now. Ladies and gentlemen, what we are going to do right now, the next one is launching of this association. The launching of this association. It's nothing, say launching. We want to raise funds for this association. I welcome also, I repeat and then doing it another time, the Deputy Governor of the state and her lovely husband, the Hubale Sama, Oluwaba Doti, Olorun Yefabushe. We are starting this with the chairman of the day. So, your message, representative, concerning what we are gathered here for.
Alhamdulillah. Like I said, not quite long about the chairman's commitment towards launching the association. The chairman has asked me to make an undisclosed substantial amount of money for this program. Thank you very much.
Takbir. We understand the fact that when some people have started with the issue of NTA, and the NTA for rara. So there are a lot of people tí wọ́n wò pé okay, àwọn èèyàn ò fi 10 million lẹ́nu, àwọn ṣe jẹ́ mi máa kọ́kọ́ fi 10 million lẹ́nu. This is must kò sí FCC bí báyìí. Ká ṣe fún Ọlọ́run kò sí FCC bí báyìí. Okay. I recognize Alhaji Ismail Toyin, who I say legal practitioner, and Babalaji of Ebola. You are welcome. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Yes, the chairperson, the chairman and the chairperson now. My mayoress. The mayoress, the chairperson of our wonderful local government, the sum of 250,000 naira. Finance. Have you given it? Allahumma ya Rabbi wa sayyidi saadatihi. The Speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Dashio Kompasa, is unavoidably absent, but he has sent somebody that is capable. Two of you, 5 million, none of each. Yes, yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I greet us and I bring good tidings from Right Honorable Speaker, Mother Ashura Yayabasa, who is unavoidably absent, is currently having a state assignment outside the country, and that is the reason why he's not here. But he has asked me, Honorable Lukman Olumo, and Honorable Okolawo to represent him here. And he identified himself with this association, and is very, very proud to be a Muslim, and he has asked me to make a generous donation, which of course you know because of his position I won't be announcing, but we will get across to the organizer about this donation. Very, very handsome donation. But in my own personal capacity, I would donate the 100,000 naira, and my colleague too will do the same amount, 100,000 naira. Thank you very much.
Takbir. Jazakumullahu khairan jaza. Kí gbogbo dúró síbi tí mo wà kí má ti lọ jìnnà. Honorable Shekoni, kí n dúró lọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀mí ẹ̀kọ́ pé fígọ̀ sẹ́mi létí. Abdulatif Shekoni 250,000 naira. Ilẹ̀ ni a máa ń mi inshallah. Ọlọ́run àti kọ̀ọ̀bà àdúró tì í. Ẹ̀yin orin ipò méjèèjì, Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́kẹ̀ owó tí o. Wa rafa'nahu makanan aliyya. I recognize my brother, Chairman Lagos State Supreme Chairman, Honorable Olawiye King. Ṣáwọn ni ẹ? Àwọn kọ́ o. Okay, Chairman, aláàjì kà mọ́ báyìí kù. Kí ni ta fi bojú yìí náà ni? Ọlọ́run kò ṣàánú wa. We recognize your revival. You are welcome. Yes, níbi tí mo wà yìí náà ni. Ẹ jẹ́ kí gbogbo ojú ibi ìbàyìí tán. Yes, this one there, sir. Okay. A máa ṣètò ti àwọn resident lọ́tọ̀ nígbà tá a bá ti ń ga ṣe òun náà ni. Ọ̀dọ̀ wa mi ni mo wà mother of the day. Ìyá àdùnnú, ìyá àlùbáríkà. Ìbànújẹ́ ò ní tọ́ sí ẹ ṣàmì. Abiyamọ tó bá ṣàmì fún ọ̀rọ̀ tiẹ̀ náà dayọ̀. Ẹ sọ fún ọmọ tèmi náà di gómìnà. Ìwọ náà sọ tiẹ̀. Ọba tó ń dùn inú. Ìdùnnú yóò ní ìdìbànújẹ́, owó ìkan àti ẹ̀gbọ́n bá ṣe fẹ́ kà. Mother of the day, Mama wa Hajja Salako, 200,000 naira. Jáde àwọn ọmọ inshallah. Wàjáde náà. All the accusations in Magodo, EFI. Àmì ìrù IFI dẹ̀ wá bí alájùlájọ òṣìkọ̀yà tí gangan ọ̀tọ̀ tí IEFI ọ̀tọ̀ ọ̀dọ́ yìí fún àṣà.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Perhaps unknown to the MC, the organization had already donated before today. MC, the organization had already donated before today. In my own private capacity, I have also sent messages of donation. So this has already been taken care of.
Takbir. So thank you very much, sir. Irú donation yẹn akọ̀fẹ́ kí lórí àwọn ẹlòmíràn fẹ́ sanwó akọ̀fẹ́ kẹ́yìn náà tún sọ 250 ní 500 ní o so àwọn ẹlòmíràn lórí fine náà mi torí àwọn residents náà ń gbowó lọ́wọ́ wọn sìn àwọn tó ń gbénu Magodo gangan ṣé ká dúró bẹ́ẹ̀ àbí ká ṣì máa lọ ká ṣì máa tẹ̀síwájú Allahumma ya Rabbi wa sayyidi adati recognize Alhaji Alimi recognize Dr. Adedeji recognize Alhaji Salahuddin Tajuddin Dr. Lawal Alhaji Salami Alhaji Shade Alimi you are all right. Thank you very much. This folks are blocking some people. Àwọn tó bá ní mọ́tò yẹn jọ níwájú ilé onílé ló wà ẹni tó bá gbé 405 Corolla ṣé Corolla ṣe 405 n tọ́kọ fún mi ní o Acura MPX 829 also Corolla 547 gbogbo ẹni tó bá gbé Corolla wá ẹjọ ló bá wà wẹ́lú mi ìwọ̀n nọ́mbà mọ́tò ẹ̀ so ẹni tó bá gbé Corolla àbí Acura MPX. Now, the seat of Nigerian government, when it comes to National Hajj Commission, àwọn tí wọ́n máa kó wa lọ sí Mọ́kà, ta ló fẹ́ lọ Mọ́kà náwó ẹ̀ sókè? Mọ́kà 2022, eléyìí ò ní yẹ o. Ẹ sọ pé labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Innal hamda laka ìwọ́lé la ṣẹ̀rí kálá ẹ̀rù wà nàmì ọ̀dọ̀ tí a máa ń náwó yìí ẹ wojú wọn dáadáa tó bá bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ tábà tún dé mọ́kà àwọn tó máa bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ Alhaji Barrister Abdullahi Olakunle Hassan Allahu Akbar somebody say Allahu Akbar he's also a resident of Magodo West.
Alhamdulillah الذي جعل لنا من أمرنا رشدا ويعلم ما كان وما يكون. صلي وسلم على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين سيدنا مولانا محمد بن عبد الله. Your Excellency, we are present. The chairman of the education, very good here, men of Timber and Caliber. With the greatest respect, the Imam, our Imam, and my fellow listeners, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My first duty is to tell us as residents. I recall from an hadith given to me by the Imam now, where I can show you back. When you think about Shuluri, àkọ́kọ́ ní ká ní alábàágbé ẹ̀ alọ́bìnrin sọ̀rọ̀ 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 ní ìmáà jòkó lórí nílé èèyàn òun ní alábàágbé tó dáa. Lórí tí èèyàn bá ń gbé lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ náà ti pọ̀ kò ní sùn. Ọlọ́run kó sọ wá lórí kalẹ́ o. wọ́n wá ní olóríire ẹni tó ń náwó sójú ọ̀dọ́ náà. Ìmáàmù tẹ̀ sọ fún mi pé lóòótọ́ Ọlọ́run fẹ́ kéèyàn náà ń kọ̀ àbí gbangba, ṣùgbọ́n gbà mí ó dá kéèyàn náà ní gbangba. Kéèyàn bá ní gbangba kéèyàn fẹ́ fi ṣìkárí á tún wú ẹlòmíì ní orí. Mo rántí ìjọ kan pàtàkì pé ẹ̀pẹ̀ Abíọ́lá tó kọ́ ló sọ̀rọ̀ yìí, Alhaji Babatunde, former previous general coordinator. No, Baba Bísí Abátúndé o, gbàgbọ́ wọn. Ọlátúndé, Alájọtúndé, exactly. Ó ní ìjọ kan, àwọn wà lókèṣọ̀, Abíọ́lá wà bẹ́ẹ̀. Abíọ́lá ṣe wọlé fáwọn olówó, àwọn ọmọ sábò. Bàbá fi Abíọ́lá ní kó wá donate, Abíọ́lá donate tiẹ̀. Wọ́n ta ló tún lówó láti san. Àwọn òṣèrè Abíọ́lá wá sọ fún òun pé mo fún alówó sí ọ̀nà ọ̀nà ìwọ̀ ẹ̀. Ẹjọ́ láti àbùsàrà àbúrú sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Àmọ́ torí pé owó oṣù lèyìn náà ń gbà ní ìdẹ̀lẹ̀ náà ju owó oṣù mi lọ. Ìgbà táwọn kan ní mo ti wá sọ fún ìyàwó mi pé a máa gbàwẹ̀ o.
Ẹ yóò wá lọ́bì ni ọ̀rọ̀ yá bí mi.
Torí pé òde tá ń lọ rẹ̀ wọ́n á bèèrè owó. So bó ṣe pé bí oṣù méjì mẹ́ta tàbí mẹ́rin ká máa yọ owó yẹn ó lè pé. Nítorí náà kí àlẹ́sàn wá lè gbòòrò, ìyàwó mi dẹ́wà ní ó ń gbọ́. Àwẹ̀ lè pé oṣù mẹ́rin nulé. Tí mẹ́yọ̀ wá ṣe appearance a ṣe lẹ́ẹ̀mẹ́rin. Ṣùgbọ́n ṣe mọ̀ pé mo ti sọ pé àwẹ̀ oṣù mẹ́rin nìyẹn. Wọ́n tí mẹ́yọ̀ ṣe ẹwà multiply by 4.
Allahu Akbar. Àwẹ̀ oṣù mẹ́rin. Èló làwẹ̀ oṣù kan? 250 ní oṣù kan. Oṣù mẹ́rin wá yé lò ó. Ẹ bá gbórúkọ Ọlọ́run tóbi. Àwọn ẹgbẹ́ chairman Ọlọ́run ò ní fi yín sílẹ̀. Ọba tó dúró tì yín ò ní padà. Àwọn èèyàn rò ó, wọ́n ti ẹ̀ sọ pè mí létí pé àkàrà ṣe wá dé yín akáyín tó fẹ́ dé ikun. Mo lábùwá Ọlọ́run ni. Èyí táwọn ẹlẹ́bí ń dá wọn lójú pé lágbára Ọlọ́run ẹ tún máa ṣe second term. Ẹ bá mi ṣàmì ẹ̀. Títà mi ìbá pé ẹ̀yin náà tún máa ń yàn. Ẹ bá mi ṣe alámúnáṣẹ́ra fún wọn. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alámúnáṣẹ́ra laka sadra wa wada'na anka wizra alladhi anqadha zara wa rafa'na laka zikra fa inna ma'al usri yusra. Fa idha faragta fansab wa ila rabbika farghab wala hawla illa billahi al-aliyyil azim. Orí 1 million láwà báyìí. Whoever tó fẹ́ mú wá sí orí 1 million láwà. Ẹ máa ń yọ bá ànábì ni. You recognize Architect Àṣàpá, the chairman Jama'at Islamiyya Mosque Magodo. Alájà Haira Sodiq, mo ti kí wọn lẹ́ẹ̀kan. Alájà Fọlámi, Alájà Muslim Fọlámi, wọ́n ti wà lókè mo ti kí wọn. Olúwa bá a san gbogbo wọn ní ẹ̀san lórí. Ọlá ànábì lọ́dọọdọ. Let me also recognize Alhaji Kamarudin Ọládọ̀ṣù. Alhaji Kamarudin Ọládọ̀ṣù. Wọ́n ti bọ́ sókè bíbá. Àwọn dà. Thank you very much, sir. Ẹ jọ ní high table bíbá kí n tó bọ́ síwájú padà. Gbogbo àwa tí ibi ẹ̀mọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ ń bọ̀ kí n bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti bíbá. Dókítà, ẹ bá ń gbé tray. Ẹ bá ń gbé tray. Ó yẹ wá dúró báyìí látọ̀rọ̀ Dr. Adétòkunbọ̀ Adébèjì káyìí ṣe kíákíá wọ́n rí kọmíṣánná sà wọ́n rí kọmíṣánná ní àwọn ti ránṣẹ́. Honourable Muslim Fọlámi wọ́n ní rìtáárì làwọn pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ náà wọ́n fún wa ní 100,000 naira. Yes. Mo tún tẹ̀síwájú báyìí. Mo ń tẹ̀síwájú báyìí. Yes, ẹ bá ń gbé tray. Ẹ bá ń gbé tray. Ìyá tètè ṣe ń jẹ́ ó yá sá. Wajadina Honorable Jimo Ibrahim, you are welcome, sir. Allahu Akbar. Ẹ bá ń gbórúkọ Ọlọ́run tóbi látọ̀dọ̀ Alhaj Kamarudin Ọládọ̀ṣù 500,000 naira. Ilẹ̀ rẹ̀ máa mi ní inshallah. Yes, sir. Bí o, ẹ bá mi kọ́rúkọ sẹ́yìn. Ẹ kọ́rúkọ sẹ́yìn. Ilé ẹ̀dá máa mi ṣàǹgbà. Ẹ bá ń gbọ́dọ̀ tóbi. Mo ń bọ̀. Chairman tí wọ́n jẹ́ chairman nù. Donation ti Honorable Lukman Olumo 100,000 tó promise ó ti wà lọ́wọ́ ó ti mú wá báyìí. Honorable Lukman Olumo 100,000. Ẹ jọ ẹ bá wa kọ account number wá nísìnyí àwọn ẹgbẹ́ ṣe transfer account number ẹ bá wa kọ ẹ. Nísìnyí chairman Magodo phase 2 ti Alhaji wa Sanni wọ́n ní Alhaji Ọládọ̀ṣù wọ́n ti fún wa ní 500,000 wọ́n ní ṣùgbọ́n 500,000 yẹn wọ́n ní kí n dá padà bẹ̀tẹ̀ mi ò lè dá padà ṣùgbọ́n ẹ má bá wa fi kún wọ́n ní kẹ́ ẹ fi kún so máa fún. Honorable Jimo Ibrahim, all the service commission, 120,000 naira. Dr. Adedeji, about Dr. Adedeji, 50,000 naira. LTA Ventures, 50,000 naira. Promissory note, what's the baby back? Allah Ababu, Ilashiri, Allah Nebu Muhammad. Lieutenant Colonel, Lieutenant General, one sheet to transfer to one fẹ́ wa. Ọlọ́run àbá àsán ilé sọ̀rọ̀ lórí. Ẹ bá mú account number wá sọ́dọ̀ àwọn rìbù bíbá ẹ̀. Account number ẹ̀yọ ẹ fún mi. Ẹjọ́ lọ́ọ̀tì yẹn ṣe ń lọ gbogbo ẹni tó sì fẹ́ fún wa lówó ní floor member báyìí. Yes. My brother, a senior advocate of Nigeria, Alhaji Shina Shokola, Ilali Amam, inshallah. Wherever you are, you are recognized. Ọlọ́run àbá àdúgbò ẹ̀kọ́ yín, Ọlọ́run ní fi sílẹ̀. Ọlọ́run nàbí lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run. Ọba tó ṣe lé nílé ẹ̀sìn, tó ṣe lé nílé àwọn amòfin. Ẹ ṣe amòfin lásán, ẹ tún jogún ẹ̀sìn. Ẹjọ́ kò ní barista Shina Shokola tó kò sí. Àwọn èèyàn ti dàbí ní ojú àdéhùn ọ̀mọ́. Ibi kíbi tẹ bá wà ẹjọ́ ẹ̀jẹ̀ kárí níbo náà jókòó. I received another check, from Naira Investment Nigeria. Saloni. 100,000 naira. The check now. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá fẹ́ kọ tó fẹ́ transfer account number láti sọ yẹn. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá fẹ́ fún wa cash ẹ jẹ́ ká gbà nísìn. Ẹni tó dẹ̀ ti fi owó ẹ̀sẹ̀ envelope a fẹ́ gbà yẹn náà. A dárúkọ yín ká tó bọ́ sórí program tó kàn. We thank you all very much. Ọlọ́run á san wálé san lórí. Libratel Supermarket. Ẹjọ́ bá mi kọ́ sílẹ̀. Libratel Supermarket 100,000 naira. Libratel Supermarket 100,000 naira. Our mother Alhaja Kairas Fodi, former Amira Form 1, 25,000 naira. Oya. Oya kọ́ àlọ́dọ̀ àwọn yàrá báyìí. Ìsìlá àmúlámá fi ṣe gbogbo ńtọ́ ọlọ́run bá fún wa ìsìlá àmúlámá. Asálà tùfọ́nṣẹ́ ńlá. Dàmátù donation Dàmátù dà. Àti ìrọ̀wọ́ àwọn Dàmátù. Imam Sheikh Ibrahim Olani, I recognize you. Unity of Muslims Ummah in a community, it needs important and relevant by Sheikh Abdurrahman Ahmad, the Chief Missioner and South Center of Nigeria. That's the next program now. Bismillah. Ever call on to me.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين وصلى الله على نبي الكريم وعلى آله طيبين الطاهرين وأصحابه الغر الميامين وعلينا معهم أجمعين بمنك اللهم وكرمك وجودك يا أكرم الأكرمين ويا أجود الأجودين ويا أرحم الراحمين. أما بعد، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. I bear witness that none deserves to be worshipped except Allah alone, who did not begin, who will never come to an end, and who is the Lord of incomparable majesty. And I bear witness that our leader and patron Muhammad is the messenger of Allah and his apostle. May Allah bless him and give him peace, including members of his household, his faithful companions, and all those who follow the guidance that he brought until the day of Qiyamah. I pray that Allah in His mercy will include you and I in the elite group of those who are fortunate to listen to the message of the Prophet ﷺ and lived their lives according to that message. May we live on the basis of the Sunnah of the Prophet. May we die following the religion and the path that Allah has chosen for us. May we be resurrected under the canopy of the sincere followers of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I thank the community here for inviting me to be part of this very auspicious occasion. I pray that Allah will accept these efforts from you and from us as an act that is done purely to seek and attain His good pleasure. I pay my respects to Her Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Ogun State, and her husband. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to make all good things very easy for you and for us. I pay my respects to two friends that are here, and I don't think there will be anyone who will not know them. Alaja Salako, Alaja Agbalajobi, I pay my respects to them. And let me quickly just bring out a lesson. There are so many of them, I think about 4 of them, they have been friends from secondary school. They have been friends from secondary school. They are still friends. The misfortune of this generation is that our children do not have friends. They don't have friends. I'm not talking of best friends. They don't have friends at all. They only follow people on Facebook and Instagram, and you ask them who their real friends are, they are disconnected. Those who are disconnected from the past and are not connected today, you can be sure what the future will look like. But that is a talk for another day. The chairman of the occasion, I pay my respect. All of the elders that are here, our mother, Alaja Sadiq, and all, I can only see a few people. If I don't mention your name, it's not out of disrespect. It is because everywhere there are masks and everyone is veiled. So it was very, very difficult for me to tell, except for a few people who have been together. Even if they cover the whole face, I can still recognize them. I recognize everyone. Allah recognizes us. May Allah honor us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us. My task has been made very, very easy by Professor Luigi, because I think he had done 3/4 of what I'm supposed to do. So I'll just add the 1/4. Well, unfortunately he has left now, but the chairman Nako is here. So because I wanted to join issues with him, I wanted to ask him, and of course I can ask all of us that are here. Those of us, or those of you who are saying you are Yorubas, are you sure? Are you really sure? Because I've asked him, and I've told him that, you see, we will one day, very soon, do a DNA test to really determine those who are Yorubas, or those who are Fulanis in disguise, or those who are Nubes who are claiming that they are Yorubas. Anyway, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in the Quran, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. He said, يا أيها الذين آمنوا إنا خلقناكم يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم. Some of these things, he said, O mankind, I've created you from a pair of a male and a female, and I made you into nations and tribes, so that you may know one another. They are just matters, ordinary matters. Said they are mere construct. They do not define. The fact that I'm Yoruba, I'm Fulani, I'm Nubi, I'm Hausa, doesn't really define who I am. It is just a matter. It is just a means by which, at some levels I could be sorted. It is not a means by which I can even be categorized. It is not a means by which I can be evaluated. Even in the affairs of this world, not to talk about the hereafter. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, so that you will appreciate the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a creator. He is a fashioner. He is not a mass producer, but he has paid attention to individuals in their makeup, in their psychology, in their emotions, in their physique, in their appearance, in their everything. No two individuals are the same. You can only find that in the creation of Allah, no matter how masterly. Even a craftsman, if he pays individual attention to his product, you will still find you will find his imprint in it. You will find the fact that it's a particular person that designs a particular way, because there is a thread that runs through it. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, look at the way He has created us. Brothers and sisters in Islam, He has given each and every one of us a pair of eyes. And they are not the same. In fact, more than even the fingerprints, the iris distinguishes us, because every iris is unique. That is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And He said, هَذَا خَلْقُ اللَّهِ فَأَرُونِي مَاذَا خَلَقَ الَّذِينَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ. This is the creation of Allah. Show me what others other than Allah created. So therefore, the purpose of making us into nations and tribes is known, to create a basis for discrimination or for profiling. It is just a means by which we should appreciate the ayat of Allah. إِنَّ فِي اخْتِلَافِ أَلْسِنَتِكُمْ وَأَلْوَانِكُمْ لَآيَةٌ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that you will appreciate the sign of Allah. Part of the sign of Allah is this, that He has created and He has given you different complexion, pigment of your skin, and different languages. This is a sign of the greatness of Allah, a sign of the creative ingenuity. Permit me to say that of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Wallahu khayru radiqan, Wallahu khayru khaliqan, Wallahu khayru musawwiran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the best of those who endow, is the best of those who create, is the best of those who fashion. And then, it is not a basis for superiority. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has urged. If you look at the universe that Allah has created, you will see unity of purpose. He has created synergy between the heavens and the earth. The stars and the galaxies are coordinated. Everything works in unison. The star, the moon, the sun, the galaxy, the air, and even the vegetation that grows from the earth. Everything, you will see unity. You will see synergy. You will see cooperation. You will see that it is not happening by itself. Every single thing fulfills a particular purpose in the whole chain. Take one thing away and you will break the chain. So also Allah has created us and He has urged. Because our differences are seeming differences are apparent. Therefore He has said, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا وَاذْكُرُوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ إِذْ كُنْتُمْ أَعْدَاءً فَأَلَّفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِكُمْ فَأَصْبَحْتُمْ بِنِعْمَتِهِ إِخْوَانًا وَكُنْتُمْ عَلَى شَفَا حُفْرَةٍ مِنَ النَّارِ فَأَنْقَذَكُمْ مِنْهَا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has, decreed. It is a decree, it's not an advice. And when Allah orders something, when He asks you to do something, it has ramifications, it has consequences. Just like in the Sharia, when they define halal, they say halal is something man fa'alahu yusab wa man tarakahu yu'aqab. When Allah orders a thing, if you do it, you will benefit here and there. You will derive material and spiritual benefit. If you refuse to do it, you will be punished materially and spiritually. When Allah orders unity, it is an injunction. And in the language of the Quran, it is couched in, fi'l al-amr, what person. So Allah is commanding. Hold fast onto the call of Allah. وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. Do not become disunited. And Allah is saying, وَاذْكُرُوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ. Remember the favors of Allah upon you. إِذْ كُنْتُمْ أَعْدَاءً. When you were sworn enemies. And it applies everywhere. Even in Yoruba land, this statement is very apt. Remember in time when you were enemies. And somehow, فَأَلَّفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِكُمْ, Allah united between your hearts. How does this apply to us in Yoruba land? As Yorubas, we have fought one of the longest internecine wars known to history. The Kiriji Wars. Yorubas were enemies one to the other. In fact, it is still enshrined in the Yoruba language. The Yorubas will say, Akini Yakini, Afini Henja Fini, Iwoni Peleu Arabada. Lójúde Ògúnmọ́lá, lójúde Ṣódẹkẹ́, èwo ni pẹ̀lẹ́ o ará Àjàyè, lójúde Ògúnmọ́lá. That is reminding us of who we used to be, who we were. And it is the Yorubas that will say, when it's a good da, I'm not talking. When it's a shall soon, and if you don't know the Fujesha, over them. And this is just reminding us. And then the fault lines are still there. They are still very, very much there. Are we really a single person, a single race, a single tribe, a single ethnic group? No, we're not. You remember when the states were created from the old Oyo states, and they took Osun, and they took Ogun, they took. I'm not aware that Iwo was a state, or is still a state. Anyways, Allah is just telling us that, He has united our hearts on the basis of Islam. Even Odua, people have said, look, they are not children of Oduas. The Ijebu's have said, no, they are not children of Odua. They are not related to Odua at all. And lot of other people. You see, the majority of people who say they are children of Odua from Oyo. And people from Ekiti, they will say they are not from Odua, and so on and so forth. But you see, I am just saying that, ethnicity, tribalism cannot be the basis for bringing people together without telling a lie. The white lie that the Yorubas tell, that all other people tell, is common ancestry. And history has debunked that very, 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 very mightily, that we are not of a common ancestry. Even the Arabs do not have common ancestry. No, the Europeans do not have a common ancestry, and so on and so forth. But for us, who have been blessed by faith, Allah is urging us, by means of that faith, by means of that iman, Allah has united between our heart. He has replaced the basis of relationship between us, not on the basis of blood, but on the basis of faith, which, as far as Islam is concerned, is stronger even than blood. So why is Allah urging us to unity? Of course, because of time, I will not go into technicalities of what is wahda and what are the variants, what are the implications, what ways. But you see, let me just say this, that Allah has commanded it. It is a command. And it is something that Allah has commanded for our own benefits. There are a lot of benefits in unity. First, Allah has told us there is strength in unity. And Allah has given us examples of lower animals. Lower animals. Some people will say there are no lower animals, all animals are equal. Are you equal to a rat? Are you equal to a cat? Are you equal to a dog? No. And if you say all animals, all beings are equal, what are you going to say about the statement of Allah? وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ وَحَمَلْنَاهُمْ فِي الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ وَرَزَقْنَاهُمْ مِنَ الطَّيِّبَاتِ وَفَضَّلْنَاهُمْ عَلَى كَثِيرٍ مِمَّنْ خَلَقْنَا تَفْضِيلًا. Indeed, Allah has honored the children of Adam, you and I. And Allah has provided for us of the best. And Allah has, elevated us above all the others, all the other people. The children of Adam were honored, and they were given, free will up to a point that was not given to the angels. It was not given to the other beings. It wasn't given even to the other animals, because it is only human beings that act on the basis of reasons. Other beings act on the basis of, instinct. The animals act instinctively, but human beings will reason their action and come to a conclusion that will be right or wrong. So Allah is telling us, on the basis of that honor that He has bestowed upon us, He expects from us to be united, to, determine or know that there is a reason for which He has created us, and that we need to cooperate in order to achieve that reason. There are verses in the Quran to this effect, and He has told us if we refuse to do it, وَلَا تَكُونُوا كَالَّذِينَ تَفَرَّقُوا. Be not like unto those who fall into disputation, who fell into disagreement, and they divided themselves into groups, and then and then their power departs them. Today in Nigeria, I have not, it is a sad commentary that in spite of our numbers, in spite of our positions of preeminence, we are about the weakest set of the sociological groups in this country. We are about the most disunited, and we are, the example of a people whose populations are not benefiting at all. And someone has drawn my attention recently to the paradox of the strength of crabs. He called it crabology. He said, you put crabs in a bowl, I like them. Put them in a bowl and just go to sleep. They will never escape. They will never escape, because if any one of the crabs attempts to escape, he will be pulled down by the others. And exactly that is who the Muslims are today. And you know better than I do. You know better than for me to cite examples. This is encouraging, very, very encouraging indeed, that this is a Muslim association who are residents in phase 2 of Magodo. Very, very encouraging. We pray that Allah will keep you together. We pray that very soon they will not call a conference to settle power tussle. Someone wants to become chairman. Some other people have embezzled funds. Some people are behaving as if they own the earth. I know and I pray that very soon we will not hear there is a Magodo phase 2 section 2 Muslim association. My brother Ali Oluwafi is here. I remember some years ago, I'm sure he will remember, we were worried about the situation of Muslims, especially in the Lagos area. And we did a census of Islamic organizations in Lagos. That year, many years ago, I think it's almost 20 years ago now, we found that there were about 2,500 Islamic organizations doing virtually the same thing, duplicating efforts and dissipating energy. Some people have no agenda at all. They have no futuristic orientation. Some of them are just there. All they wanted was, we are the Amir, we are the Imam, we are the... And today, I am sure that even when you talk of umbrella organizations, we have too many. Muslim is an umbrella organization. There are others, umbrella organizations. So many. There are so many Islamic organizations into education, so many Islamic organizations into welfare, so many Islamic organizations doing virtually the same things. I've looked through the constitution of many Islamic organizations. I've looked at their prayer books, and I've seen virtually the same thing. The same thing. For instance, with due apology, what is the difference between Nasfat and Karim? What is the difference between Ansar-ud-Din and Ansar Islam? What is the difference between both and Nawar-ud-Din and so on? What is the difference? All right? And all of the numbers, what does it turn to? It is worse when you come to the level of the community. Every resident in my own estate, very unfortunately, we are a major, I think we have about 57 families, 57 housing units, and the Muslims that are there, we're not up to 5. We used to 7 families, 7 Muslim families. We have 50 non-Muslim families. They are very strong, they are very united. Okay, even we are a minority. Those of us, well, some people will say we are also from Southwest. From what? But those of us who speak Yoruba and are Muslims, we're 2. The others are Hausas, 1 from Edo. The Hausas within the estates, I think about 5 of them, 2 or 4 of them now, they are together. Not formally, but they have an association of Hausa residents, Muslim. And of course, what can 2 of us who are Muslims or 3 of us do? Now, it is, we can excuse us, but there are communities where the majority are Muslims, but they are never together. They are never together. It is worse. I've seen estates where they have been on the project of developing their mosque in the last 15, 20 years. They have not been able to. But people, Muslims will come and build very big houses and put small mosques there for the gate man to pray. What still, it's not even accessible to the public. It is even worse. Because in spite of their number, they cannot influence anything. They cannot influence anything at all. I hope your own will not be like this. And we need unity, because you can see, even in spite of our numbers, we are still living like a minority in this country. The problem of hijab, even in Kwara, you have read about it, even in Kwara, even in Ilorin, where we gave people land for free because they wanted to bring school. They are still insisting that our children, our daughters cannot use hijab in their schools that is being grant-aided by government. Why? Because you know the reason that they give? The reason is that it is going to encourage terrorism. Hijab will encourage terrorism. I said how? He said it's going to be very easy to pick those who are non-Muslims and bomb them in that school. Like the pastor told me this. So it's going to be very easy if they want to attack the school to identify those who are not Muslims, because the Muslims are already using hijab. I said, what of the Muslim students that are not using hijab? Or is it made compulsory on everyone? He said it is those that the Boko Haram will use to attack them. And of course, finally, we have Muslims even in the House of Assembly, Muslims who say, well, you don't be fussy about this thing. After all, it's just a piece of cloth on the head. So at the end of the day, the Muslims, in spite of their numbers, are very weak. They are very ineffective. Even in government, we have witnessed the cause of this, the consequence of not being united during the Abiola saga that Professor Louis referred to briefly. The major actors were Muslims. And the Muslim community could not do anything to bring them together. I will tell you, it is very sad. And I'm saying this with every sense of responsibility. You know what is happening in Osun? Osun of Barrister Kuli. Recently you read that a big pastor in this country invited our people, Engineer Prof. Aregbeshola, and Alhaji Isaac Oyetola, because there are problems, and he invited them to the church premises so that he will settle. And I was asking, where are the Muslim elders? Where are the Muslim scholars? What is happening to the Muslims? Are there no elderly people among us that can reconcile between them? That is just one example. Go everywhere. In every community, there are people that are at odds. One, this is contrary to the injunction of Allah. This is not in our best interest. And today, I tell you, I do not have anything against Christians that will do when I don't have anything against them. But you see, the problem is this. They go ahead as if we are second-class citizens in this country. One thing was proved: no matter what the politics of El-Rufai is, was, and will be, that's not my problem. But there is one point that El-Rufai proved that should strengthen us, that should energize us if we take a cue from it. They said if he picks a Muslim ticket, they are not going to vote for him, and he will not be governor of Kaduna State a second time. He said, well, he didn't go out to pick a Muslim as deputy, but that was what her community nominated, and that he is going to stick by that. And he called the bluff of those who are threatening fire and brimstone. At the end of the day, he won. He won a resounding victory, and the heavens did not fall. Why is it that as Muslims we are cowards? We are afraid to assert our identity. I'm not saying we do not have the right to oppress anyone. We don't have the right to take more than our right, more than it is due to us. We do not have the right to behave as if others do not exist. What Allah has told us is you have a right to exist, others have a right to exist. Let live and let live. La darara wa la dirara. Allah did not say you should compromise your deed, your faith, your conviction just to continue to please others. They say Muslims are more tolerant. I don't agree that we are more tolerant, especially in Yoruba land. I don't agree that Muslims in Yoruba land are more tolerant. I think Muslims in Yoruba land are more cowardly. And because we are disunited. Let me give you one last example to demonstrate the depth of our disunity. Once in a while I used to drive, and nothing gets on my nerve than when I'm driving and on my lane, and someone is driving against traffic, and I insist that I will not budge, I will not leave, allow, and the people in the downfall or whatever will be Of course, this is typical of what happens everywhere. Well, I think ultimately we must go back to that command of Allah. If we want to get the favor of Allah, if we want to be strong, if we want to take our rightful place in society, and if we must grow, and that is وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. I'm not unaware of the fact that we'll be different. Allah is not saying that all of us, don't let us mistake unity for uniformity. No. Unity is different from uniformity. Uniformity is fake. We can wear white and green like we do in Saudi. That does not mean we are united. You can also wear whatever you wear, uniform, and be uniform. Same cap, same glasses, same shoe, same wristwatch. It doesn't mean you are united. Don't mistake uniformity for unity. Unity can admit of genuine differences. We are different. Allah said, "La yazaluna mukhtalifin illa man rahimah. Walidhalika khalaqahum wa tammat kalimatu rabbika sidqan wa adla." So, in a community, we may not subscribe. People call Akida, they said manhaj, without even telling us what this manhaj is. These are the sources of our problem. Some people will say they are Salafi, some people they say they are Sunnah, some people they say they are, and so on and so forth. This has always been, since the start of Islam, even the imams of our religion, they do not subscribe to the same, understanding. There is what they call sawabit. There are those things they call mutawajjirat. You see, this is the strength of Islam, because it lends itself to interpretation, space-time interpretation. The interpretation and understanding of Islam in the last 100 years is no longer relevant. That is why fiqh is the space-time interpretation of Islam. It's not stagnant. The fact that I do not see it the way you see it does not mean I'm your enemy. Even the Sahaba do not see it the same way. Recently, modern Sheikh bin Baz and Sheikh Muhammad Nasruddin al-Albani, they had differences on something that is so fundamental, on the question of hijab and niqab, hijab al-mar'a. Albani wrote hijab al-mar'a, Idam al-kitab wa sunnah. And, you know, he said it's not compulsory for people to cover their faces. Bin Baz said, no, as far as they are concerned, it is compulsory. So there will always be differences. Why will you remove people from Islam because they do not live there? Why will you remove them from Islam because you think their trouser is too long and it's longer than yours? Why will you remove people, segregate people just because they don't agree with you? You say they are Ahlul Bid'ah and you cannot cooperate with them, you cannot pray in their mosque, you cannot pray behind them. Why will you do this? This is another angle to disunity. And of course, it is paradoxical that those people who will say some people are not covering their face, they are not using the cover. When they get to school, their best party, their study mates are Rebecca. And it doesn't mean anything to them. So these are things, trends that we must avoid in this society, that we must guide against. You see, you have to leave some things for Allah. You don't sit in judgment over your fellow human beings. At the end of the day, it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who will reward or punish. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب واستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم.
Takbir. Takbir, everybody. We say big thank you to our Imam telling us about unity, disunity in Islam, particularly in Yoruba land. We appreciate what you have just said. Abubuwa náà láwọn tó ṣẹlẹ̀ láwùjọ rẹ̀ ní gbogbo tí ó lọ. Let us recite Surah Al-Quraysh pẹ̀lú àkàrẹ́jà fún Imam wa náà. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ila fi Quraysh ila fi muddat ash-shita'i was-sayf falyabudu rabba hadha al-bayt alladhi at'amahum min ju'in wa amanahum min khawf. Yes. Now I want to just create the indulgence. لقد جاءكم رسول من أنفسكم عزيز عليه ما عنتم حريص عليكم بالمؤمنين رؤوف رحيم فقل حسبي الله عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم آمين. Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kẹ́mi mọ́ mo túbọ̀ kún fún wa o. Èyí tí ẹ̀ ń sọ yìí Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kó kárí gbogbo abẹ́ ẹ̀. Kẹ́ni kan máa pẹ́ ní kejì ní kèfèrí adẹ̀jọ́ kírun adẹ̀jọ́ gbàwẹ̀. Wọ́n jẹ́ kó yé wa pé gbogbo ẹni tó bá ń ṣe mùsùlùmí jọ ni wá o. Káwọn kan ẹgbẹ́ pọ̀pọ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ MSS lẹ́ẹ̀kan gbogbo ẹ̀ náà ló dá MSS rú. Àfẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ MSS gidi mọ́ báyìí. Oríṣiríṣi ti wọnú ẹ̀. Ọlọ́run bá tún gbogbo ẹ̀ ṣe o. Ọlọ́run. Yes, I just want to create the judges of Deputy Governor Excellency just for a little minutes. We want to just take little things from some people, and after that, we'll give you the chance to speak. You're very sorry. Mrs. Dediju, I'm very sorry, apology, ma'am. You are representing the former Deputy Governor. Yes, me, they will lower you, but you must say, Tora Origin. So, thank you, ma'am. Àwọn jọmọ wa láti Jama'atu Architect Maruf Ashafa tó jẹ́ chairman wọ́n Jama'atu donate 50,000 naira. Bá a gbọ́dọ̀ tóbi fún wọn. Engineer Idris Jabbar. Àwọn dà. Engineer Idris Jabbar. Wọ́n sì have a say. Engineer Idris Jabbar. Can you please come? We want Allah to bless you more. And we appreciate your contribution. Please. what will you contribute to this association? Takbir. Yes, Engineer Jabbar Idris has mentioned his own contribution, inshallah. Alaja and Alaja Animashao. Alaja and Alaja Animashao. Alaja Animashao. Aha. Hello, sir. Animashao po. Mafia de Mafusita. All of Mafia de Animashao. Hello, sir. Sir. Pensioner náà ni àwọn yé wa. NTA ni responsibility. Ẹ bá gbọ́dọ̀ tóbi. Yes, there is another. Okay, Alhaji Jide Jubilee. A check of 20,000 has been received. Thank you very much. Imam Toketile Mosque, Mr. Ayo Olurode. Àwọn tí mo pè é ẹjọ́ sọ́wọ́ mi. Ok, Imam ṣé wọn bá ṣètò owó wọn kó dọ́dọ̀ àwọn elétò lórí time. Also, Alhaji Jubril, Professor Akim Olaniyan, àti gbogbo àwọn ìjọba ìpátá ọlọ́wọ́ aṣọ ẹ̀ńgẹ́sàn lórí. Let me also recognize Magodo Resident Association Chairman, Mr. Adebayo Oshonobe. Where's he having the same? Thank you very much. This is the chairman, Magodo Resident Association. Ever welcome to before? I do work for you people. We appreciate your presence and pray that good Lord will be with you. Thanks so much, sir. Professor Akim Olaniyan. I've mentioned the name about 4 times. Where is he having his seat? I've been calling your name, sir. Yes, sir. Your contribution, sir, your donation. You transfer to us. Thank you, sir. Engineer Sharif. I want that. Engineer Sharif. Yes, sir. You're welcome, sir. Your contribution, sir. 100,000 naira. Ila the amount, inshallah. Mr. Farouk Abbas. Has he left? Disciples and gentlemen, we want to go to set up the government. Engineer Mutade Abdulakim, I want that. Hello. 100,000 only. 100,000 inshallah. Ọlọ́run á ṣe rọrùn. A fẹ́ lọ sọ́dọ̀ deputy governor wa. Gbogbo abiyamọ tó wà bí ẹ bá mi tẹ́ ọwọ́ yín fún màmá wa deputy governor of the state. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ akẹ́kẹ́ bọ̀ níwà lórí seat. Àwọn tá a bá ń pín nǹkan ká dá dúró náà. Ẹ jẹ́ ká dá nǹkan tá à ń pín yẹn dúró. Stop everything. A lè fẹ́ kéèyàn máa rìn káàkiri. Lásìkò tí deputy governor fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀. Abiyamọ ẹ bá mi tẹ́wọ́ fún deputy governor wa, abẹ́lọ́wọ̀n ẹ̀mí gígùn fún yín, abẹ́lọ́wọ̀n àlàáfíà tó péye, abẹ́lọ́wọ̀n ojú àánú ẹ̀ gbogbo ìgbà kó máa wà pẹ̀lú yín, ilé yín ò ní dàrú, ìjọba ọ̀dẹ̀ ní dàrú mọ́ yín lọ́wọ́, ọlá nàbí lọ́jọ́ Ọlọ́run. Ẹ jẹ́ ká panu pọ̀, a ṣe wà tó máa àti àlànà ṣe ra, iyì wa lè jẹ́ àpọ́nlélẹ̀ ìjẹ́ fún wa. Ibùjókòó yín kò ní dàrú, àríyìn àtọkọ yín kò ní bàjẹ́. Ọba tí ó ṣẹ́ ìyá wa yìí kú fún yín kò ní tì mú ọ sọ́dọ̀ báyìí. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wadduha wal-layli idha saja ma wadda'aka rabbuka wa ma qala wal-akhiratu khayrun laka min al-ula wa lasawfa yu'tika rabbuka fatarda alam yajidka yatiman fa'awa wa wajadaka dallan fahada wa wajadaka 'ailan fa'agna fa amma al-yatima fala taqhar wa amma as-sa'ila fala tanhar wa amma bi ni'mati rabbika. Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ yọ̀ ṣubú níbí Àmì Olúwa. Ó kàn láti ṣìrà. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alam nashrah laka sadrak. Allazi anqadha zahrak wa rafa'na laka dhikrak. Fa inna ma'al usri yusra. Fa idha faragta fansab. Wala hawla illa billahi al-aliyyil azim. Amin.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I recognize my husband, Excellency Alaji Bode Oyedele, the chairman of the occasion, erudite speakers, Professor Jacques Oloyede and Sheikh Abdurrahman Ahmed. I recognize Barrister Dhikrullah Hassan, the chairman of Nigerian Hajj Commission. I recognize the chairman of the association being launched today, the Magodo Muslim Phase 2 Association, Alaji Ishaq Soni. I recognize my mothers, my mother who birthed me, my mother who backed me, Alaja Rahmat Salako and Alaja Sidi Agbala Jobi. Recognize all other eminent guests here on the high table, brothers and sisters in Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I thank the organizers of this event for inviting my husband and I here today to share in the good tidings of this new association. I commend and congratulate all the Muslims in Magodo Phase 2 for this very laudable initiative. When the MC was speaking earlier, he said Professor Inde was a member of Magodo Muslim community. And I was expecting him to also acknowledge my own membership of the community. So even if he does not recognize my membership, I'm a member of this community. I've prayed at IEF here. There used to be a mosque at the corner on the way to Straight Gate School. When my parents first moved into Magodo, I was praying in that mosque as well. I'm also a member of the Jamaatu Mosque as well, so count me as one of you. Interestingly, when Professor Oloyede was speaking, one of the recommendations was that all the little Muslim organizations here and there had to come together so that we could have strength in numbers. And the Sheikh also referred to it as well. And we are here today to see that kind of initiative being started here in Magodo. So it seems that this is something that is on the right path. I thank our erudite speaker for the very thought-provoking lectures that they gave us today. The Almighty Allah continue to increase them in knowledge, and may He accept their efforts of Sadaqatul Jariyah for them. One of my takeaways from both lectures was the fact that our strength is in our numbers and our unity, not in our ethnicity. The one thing that binds all of us together, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, is irrespective of who we are or where we come from. And as such, we have to look at the issues based on the unity of our deen. Because if we continue to look at the things that separate us, we will never go and work on the unity. We listened to the chairman's speech, and he gave a summary of what they had done on welfare in the last year that the association had been formed, and also briefed us on other projects. One of them is the school project, and another is the cemetery project. While listening to him, what crosses my mind is that a lot of the time we put a lot of our effort into welfare. Indeed, we have to look after the poor in our community. But I will also borrow a phrase from Christendom, that you have to teach people to fish and not just feed them. If we continue to gather people together week in, week out and give them food, where will their improvement come from? And when the Sheikh spoke about the crabology theory, I thought to myself, aha, this is what I'm thinking as well. We cannot just gather people and feed them without giving them a way out of their poverty. And as such, I want this organization to look at a way of taking people out of poverty, not just feeding them on a once-a-week basis. In any case, if you feed somebody once a week, what do they do for the remaining 6 days of the week? Do they just go to other associations? Do they just go to other associations and beg for food? And is it going to be a never-ending cycle? I also have a concern that when we place a lot of emphasis on feeding the poor, we are sending a message that Islam is a deen of poor people, that it is a poverty deen. I think it is very important for us to know how to manage the perception of our deen for ourselves, for our children, and for the community at large. Welfare we can do on a one-on-one basis, and I'm sure that we all do in our respective homes and our families. But I think this association should focus on what can really be done as collectives, more than what can be done as individuals. And one of these is education. We have the generation now. My children are younger, and I can tell you that the education of our children, their Western education, is at the expense of their Islamic education. And again, I refer to Professor Iwe's comment, where we have to find a way of standardizing Islamia so that our children get the best Islamic education, while we also make sure that they get the best Western education so that they can compete favorably and even much better than other people. If we have Islamic schools that are not standardized, we may believe that our children are going to graduate school because they attend, but they actually learn what they're supposed to learn to make them good Muslims, and also for them to also be able to propagate the deen when they get old. I therefore also want to commend this association to look at the aspect of education and schools for the middle classes, specifically in the upper classes, because I think that that is where most of the erosion of the Muslimah and the Muslims is coming from. A lot of comments are also raised about marginalization and about not having a voice and of the minorities when decisions affecting Muslims are taken. I have a phrase which I use, and that is, if you are not at the table, you are on the menu. If we have a table of policy directives and there's no Muslim at the table, when issues that affect Muslims are being discussed, there will be no voice. But even where there is no systematic plan to maybe disrupt or disenfranchise Muslims, but just from a lack of understanding or awareness of the issues, we can inadvertently get discriminated against. And I would like to call on all of us. I'm a politician, and I want to say that You can be a Muslim and be a politician. Because I hear a lot of that as well. Fine, English politics, no, politics. You can actually be a politician and be a good Muslim. You do not have to run for elected office to be a politician, but you have to participate in the process, engage in the process, support Muslim candidates, support non-Muslim candidates, whatever it is, so that your opinion is relevant in anything that you do. You can then be invited to develop policy because of your specialty, whatever it is that you do. You can be invited to participate in governance. And definitely, anywhere that you are, you can then lend your voice and you can make sure that you look out for issues that affect Muslims in their day-to-day lives. Once again, I congratulate the Muslims in Magodo Phase 2 for this organization that they have set up. And I wish everybody great success. However, this is a long-term project and needs long-term financing. I know that several people have donated money today, but if we look at the aims of the organization and the things that I have also suggested that they do, in another couple of months they will need more money. And what I would like to suggest is that for the donors today to consider what they have donated as their initial donation. And we should also look at long-term financing for people who are of an older age, people who have written their wills and their last wills and testaments. They should consider endowments to this organization. People that have homes in Magodo, they can very well leave their house here to Magodo when they answer our last call. And the house can be sold and the money given to the organization, especially when children are blessed and do not necessarily need the house in Magodo. They can consider other endowments to the organization, legacies to the organization. And for all of us who are here, my own suggestion would be that we should also look at a standing order, indefinite standing order to this organization. And I will be donating towards this organization by creating a standing order so that every month an amount comes into the account of this organization. And I call on others to join me so that they do not have to reach out every day to people, but that the money comes in. Because I believe that these are high caliber people who will use the money judiciously for what they have pledged, and that their internal checks and balances make sure that they achieve their aims and that we support them to achieve these aims as well. Once again, congratulations to everyone in Magodo on this. May Almighty Allah bless you, bless all of us who are here, and accept all of this that we do on the day of Qiyamah. Subhana Rabbika.
Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Takbir. That was a wonderful speech by Her Excellency, Deputy Governor of Ogun State. May Almighty Allah continue to strengthen you. Zati travels and tours. What you check it on like 100,000 you check me. Zati travels and tours. What you check now. I should have announced so here the check it out in the also, Ahadi, our advice Agbalagba àti ìgbà owó lọ́wọ́ wọn ojúlẹ̀ ń tèmi láti gbó wọ́n náà ti fi check wọn ránṣẹ́ aláǹkà mọ́ ronú kòkó ẹ bá dọ́dọ̀ bàbá wa náà chairman co-investment ẹ bá dọ́dọ̀ wọn brother àtúnbọ̀ orúkọ ìwádà ẹ bá dọ́dọ̀ wọn. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, people have been expecting us to start the question and answer session. Ìyẹn ni wọ́n retí lọ́dọ̀ wa pé à ń láti ṣe nísìn. Aláàjì kọ́kọ́ rí ìròyìn kẹ̀kẹ́ àwọn dà gbàgbé wọn lọ́wọ́ wọn. Ọlọ́run kí wọ́n wá ṣọ́ ọmọ wa deputy governor of the state. Ọlọ́run kí wọ́n wá ṣọ́. Professor Akim Olani, wọ́n ti send 50,000 naira ilẹ̀ ìdààmú mi ṣáàlá ọlọ́run kó bá sọ ilé sàn. Sẹ́sẹ̀lẹ̀sẹ̀ aláàjì bọ̀dẹ̀ ìdílé ọlọ́run bá aṣọ ilé lé o. Lálá hawla wala quwwata illa billah. Nísìnyí, it's high time we have the question and answer. We're just supposed to entertain 2 questions, one from this side and one from this side, and that's all. That's all. Oh yeah, who's the first person from this side? Oh yeah, come. Látọ̀ lọ màmá wa náà ẹnìkan question ẹ̀yọ̀kan. Màmá wa lájà. Ẹ jẹ́ kọ́kọ́ gbọ́ta wa lájà. Ètò padà sọ́dọ̀ yìí.
Adúpẹ́ fún gbogbo àwọn bàbá tó ti bá a sọ̀rọ̀. Ohun tí mo kàn fẹ́ sọ ni pé tí ẹ bá wo tó ń fa wàhálà jù láàrin àwa mùsùlùmí pàápàá àwọn ẹgbẹ́ tí ẹ̀ ń dárúkọ pé wàhálà wà láàrin owó ni owó ló máa ń dá wàhálà rẹ̀. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ mo kàn fẹ́ dá lábàá wípé as a united front tá a jẹ́ láti ìlú ìlú kí Ọlọ́run túbọ̀ gbà wá láyé. Empowerment was very, very important. Deputy Governor of the state, my sister, which is only importance of education. But in addition to that, I need empowerment. Fáwọn obìnrin wa, àwọn ọkùnrin wa tí ó kù díẹ̀ kí á tó fún. Èmi rò pé tí wọ́n bá ní iṣẹ́ tó ń gbé ṣe, tí wọ́n rí nǹkan dì, owó kéékèèké ò ní máa jọ wọ́n lójú. Ẹ bá dẹ̀ wò ó, ẹni pé àwọn ọmọ wa náà ń lò fún gbogbo iṣẹ́ ìjà, iṣẹ́ ẹbí àtàwọn iṣẹ́ tó wà ń tà ń sìn. Tẹ bá wo nínú orúkọ 10, 8 ló máa jẹ́ orúkọ mùsùlùmí. Tí a bá fún àwọn ọmọ wa ní iṣẹ́ tó péye, inú mi lè dùn pé àwọn government officials tó wà nílé ni wọ́n ti fi ti ara wọn gbọ́. Mayoress, deputy governor àtàwọn màmá bàbá tọ́lọ́hún kẹ́ tó wà ní Magodo yìí. Ó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ nígbà tí a bá gbé sórí tẹlifíṣàn, ẹ jẹ́ ká wo nta ìgbé kalẹ̀ nínú ẹgbẹ́ wípé ajá ilé sílẹ̀ ó ṣèyàn 10 ní àwùjọ kọ̀ọ̀kan ọ̀ ní mọ́ṣáláṣí kọ̀ọ̀kan ẹni kan dá orúkọ jọ. Àwọn tó wà láàrin wa tọ́lọ́hún kẹ́ kí wọ́n fún wọn ní empowerment. Eléyìí á lè reduce the number of our children tọ́lọ́ ń ṣiṣẹ́ ìyàtọ̀ káàkiri kí Ọlọ́run fún wa ṣe. Sàlámà ni.
Aleykum salaam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A ti gbọ́ ìbéèrè màmá wa, ó kù ti ọkùnrin kan lẹ́yìn méjì sàmà entertain náà ni.
Ẹ ṣeun. Mo kí àwọn elétò program ti àwáyé mi. Mo lè kí gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ti sọ̀rọ̀. Pàápàá jùlọ bàbá wa, imam. Nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sọ kò ní pọ̀. Nǹkan tí ó get attention wá sí ilé mi, òun ni topic àkòrí tí ó gbé wá. Ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan tí mo rí ni pé bàbá wa ti sọ̀rọ̀ fún wa ní àwọn nǹkan tí olówó iyebíye ọ̀rọ̀ wá ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo fẹ́ kí wọ́n ràn lọ́wọ́ pẹ̀lú. Bí àwa ọ̀dọ́ tá à ń dàgbà bọ̀ káwa náà lè fi tó dálẹ̀ fún àwọn tí wọ́n ń bọ̀ lẹ́yìn wa. Nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ kí wọ́n ṣe fún wa òun náà ni pé problem tí wọ́n lé ọ̀rẹ́ wọ́n ti recommend àwọn kankan tó jẹ́ àgbàlagbà babaláyé kí mo fẹ́ eléyìí bí task bí challenge mo fẹ́ sọ fún wa tí a bá lè ṣiṣẹ́ lórí kí wọ́n dákun kí wọ́n sowọ́pọ̀ látòkè náà kí wọ́n kọ́ wa bí àwọn ọ̀pọ̀ tó sọ fún wa yẹn kí wọ́n kọ́ wa bó ṣe lè ṣe wà possible kí wọ́n dákun kí wọ́n ṣe fún wa kí wọ́n sowọ́pọ̀ àwọn àlùlà wọn wò àwọn kí wọ́n sowọ́pọ̀ kí wọ́n actualize unity yẹn kí wọ́n dẹ̀ wá láti ẹ̀rú bàjẹ́ lọ́wọ́ èyí tí ìbá make point yẹn kún actualize yẹ kọ́ wá fún wa pé a ṣe ń ṣe lélẹ̀ kọ́ á dẹ̀ bàjẹ́ lọ́wọ́ káwa náà lè lé lẹ̀ fún àwọn tí wọ́n ń bọ̀ lẹ́lẹ̀kẹ̀jẹ̀ má bínú àwọn nǹkan ṣẹlẹ̀ láwọn state nígbà tí mo gbọ́ sí ojú mi púpọ̀ mi ní fẹ́ láì láti dárúkọ mo rí pé àwọn tí wọ́n jẹ́ bí ẹlẹ́kejì wa àbí bá ní káṣíkì wa àwọn ẹlẹ́sìn kejì wa wọ́n lo advantage yẹn ní wa lórí wọ́n rí disunity wa yẹn wọ́n fi ń ṣàwọn kan fún wa ní ìlú kan ó yà mí lẹ́nu láti gbọ́ pé wọ́n yọ IRK kúrò nínú curriculum so irú àwọn kan báyìí ó jẹ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí effect tó ń tara àìwà united wa nípa ìjáde ẹgbẹ́ àkọsílẹ̀ ká ṣiṣẹ́ lórí ọlọ́run àṣẹ sàrámù.
Ọ̀sọ̀lá nǹkan tí bírọ́dà wa sọ ni pé ìrẹ́pọ̀tà wí afẹ́kẹ́ ìtẹ̀já gbàlagbà á rí ibẹ̀ rẹ kí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké náà ká lè bá tẹ̀lé yìí. Ìbéèrè méjèèjì yìí tó microphone ti lọ sọ́dọ̀ àwọn àgbàlagbà báyìí.
Èyí tí àwọn alájà wa sọ àwọn alájà sọ̀dé mo rò pé ìmọ̀nà fún gbogbo wa ni gbogbo wa ló lẹ̀ yìí kí ọlọ́run kó bá wa sọ eléyìí tí brọ́dà wa sọ kẹ́rí tó ọlọ́run ọmọ ọlọ́lájà ó fi wá ní ẹnìkọ̀ọ̀kan ní o ọ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan lọ́wọ́ ó béèrè lọ́wọ́ wa ọlọ́run ní bí wá pé kéèsì ọ̀tọ̀ ni kí ọlọ́run sọ náà Al-Qur'an inna ata'ana sadatana wa kubara'ana fa'adalluna sabila rabbi atihim dayfayn min al'adhab wal'anhum la'nan kabira kéèsì ọ̀tọ̀ lélẹ́yìn wọ ẹjọ́ ilé tí ẹni tí ó tẹ̀lé nǹkan tí ó mọ̀ wọ ẹlẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ sọ kí ní kan fún yín ó dùn mí pé kò sí prof mi but bóyá lè rí nígbà táwà ní ẹrẹsẹ̀ fortunately ìgbà tí prof lè dé tó wà lẹ́mẹsẹ̀ that same time ìlú náà wà lẹ́mẹsẹ̀ nǹkan tó fẹ́ mú jáde náà yìí pé ìgbà yẹn náà kí sí gbogbo ara àgbì group tí ó lè dé wà ó yàtọ̀ sí èdè mi wà a ní fundamental disagreement ẹlẹ́kìnlẹ́kìn ìgbì àwọn prof pẹ̀lú brother Abdulhab Falowo àti gbogbo àwọn yẹn wọ́n believe nínú Islamic song ká ṣe picnic ká ṣe kìíní àwa àrí ìdúró ẹ̀ so we are always agree. That's number one. Number two, àwọn èèyàn kan bẹ tó bìlí fún revolution bí àwọn àgbẹ̀gbẹ̀ bí and so on. Àwọn èèyàn kan bẹ tó bìlí fún revolution. Now, short story, òun ni wípé àwa àtàwọn pòròtòléèdè àtàwọn yòókù àìsọ̀ta àsọ̀ta wa rí a keep disagreement yẹn a dey go about it in the best of manners MSS ò tí ọwọ́ tí wa factionalize and up till today gbogbo wa là ń lọ sí papọ̀ àwọn tí wọ́n factionalize MSS àwọn tó dá sí sínú ẹlẹ́ àwọn tó pẹ̀lú àwọn tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí pàwọn yẹn kéfèé gbogbo wa náà la mọ̀ wọ́n so tẹ́ ẹ máa ń sọ pé káwa show example irú brother mi tó wà ní orí ìdòkó yìí brother yìí wá máa ní difference Oòduà lòun so torí ẹ̀ bára wa jà a ní irú ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn òṣèlú tó tẹ̀ sílẹ̀ tó lè lọ irú àwàdà tẹ́lẹ̀ káwọn fi ṣe yìí. So ibi tẹ́yìn ti rí kẹ́mọ́ pé àwọn bàbá yín kéfèé ìdáwó because àwọn òfin ìyẹn lélẹ̀ ìyẹn lélẹ̀ o kò dẹ̀ sí future kankan níbi mélòó ní gbogbo wa ọlọ́pàá táì àwọn ọlọ́run pọ̀ tó tẹ́ wá blọọkì wọn àlìjẹ́nà jọ bẹ́ẹ̀ yìí nìkan lẹ́wọ̀ àlìjẹ́nà wàtá ọlọ́run ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ wá sọ pé àwọn kan torí pé wò ní òkè àwọn kan torí pé wò wí láwàní àwọn kan torí pé wò ní wà àlìjẹ́nà ẹ rò pé kékeré wà àlìjẹ́nà ni hall lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ àlìjẹ́nà ni hall ilẹ̀ gbé àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ sẹ́ńtà ẹ̀dàkù eléyìí ẹ̀jẹ̀ ká yọ kúrò mẹ́ the worst tó lè ṣẹlẹ̀ ní wípé nǹkan tètè gbàgbọ́ nì kó dẹ̀ mú ẹ̀ nípa kó bá dẹ̀ dákẹ́ nú ẹ tó bá dẹ̀ lẹ́yìn tẹ́lu mi bá dé ẹ̀ tó yàtọ̀ sí tiẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ìjọba kí ló fa àwọn màgáàlì wíṣàtò nàdìrì kó wá wá lè yàtọ̀ omi ìlú ìfẹ́ àìṣe mùsùlùmí mọ́ eléyìí ní ẹ̀jẹ̀ ká lọ kúrò mẹ́ kó o lè rí ọmọ ìyá rẹ kọjá mùsùlùmí ó dẹ̀ rí irú ẹ̀ dẹ̀ rú pé àwọn oníbídíà àwọn oníbídíà bẹ́ẹ̀ ìwé ìṣojú súnà ìwé ìwé sínú súnà eléyìí ní ẹ̀jẹ̀ ká lọ kúrò mẹ́ àwọn tá a bá dẹ̀ ti dà fa ẹ bẹ́ẹ̀ ká hù àfa àìsà fa tí ọ̀rọ̀ ọmọ bá délẹ̀ àwọn tá a bá nílẹ̀ dáadáa pé ẹ fi kéèsì ẹ fáwọn àfa nítorí pé ọkà 10 pages nínú ìwé 200 pages ìwọ́n náà ti mú tí. eléyìí àwọn ìgbà tó ká fìtínà yìí and àwọn eléyìí ẹ̀jẹ̀ ká bí èyí ká stop gbẹ̀láwà rẹ̀.
Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin wa sallallahu ala nabiyil karim. Àkọ́kọ́ yẹ kí n tó àforíjì pé mo dé program ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ torí ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì sẹ́yìn àjọṣe ìpàdé pé èní ní ọjọ́ àjẹmá bẹ̀rẹ̀ láago 10. Bàtà sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mímọ̀ bí máa pẹ́ torí pé ọ̀nà mi pọ̀ ilé ìlú wa ṣe kókó jù mo wá ti pé tí bá kọ́kọ́ lọ síbi tí máa lọ wàá kàn sọ bismillah kó tó di rahman á gba ẹ̀yìn kọjá tí mo ṣe pẹ́ dé nìyẹn gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ mo ti mọ̀ pé yìí máa jókòó sí ẹni tó bá dẹ̀ gbẹ̀yìn wọlé tó bá jókòó ẹ̀ jẹ́jẹ́ wọn ò ní mọ̀ pé ó pẹ́ kó tó dé kí Professor Olóyèdé tó tú àṣírí mi àṣírí kí Professor Olóyèdé tó tú ló fi láyè láti sọ̀rọ̀ tí mo fẹ́ sọ Professor Olóyèdé ní kí n rọ́wà sí fún àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ MSS ọ̀rọ̀ tí ò dojú fún mi I was former national president of the Muslim student olóyè dáadáa ọlọ́wọ́n dẹ̀ ṣe náà ìgbà tí wọ́n sọ ilé àlàyé ṣe mẹ́fì kò dá gbígbà tàwa náà ètò ìdàgbọ̀ náà bá a ṣe gbogbo nǹkan tí àwọn àgbààgbà àwọn àfáàsọ náà ìlú náà sọ privacy àyà tí wọ́n dẹ̀ kí àwọn méjèèjì àkórí àyà tó dé náà ni pé ọjà ànákù ṣòro bá ọkọ̀ bá ìlà ìtàn àrọ́fù ibi tó ní kálukú ti wá kàlẹ̀ dámọ́ ní níta gbọ́ apá inú ìtàn ni pé Odùduwà ló ṣẹ̀ wálẹ̀ níṣẹ́ wá níbẹ̀ kọ́ ẹ̀bẹ̀ kọ́ nìlú náà àfẹ́ tó bá nígbàgbọ́ sí version pé láti sọmọ àwọn tó ní version láti sọmọ náà wọ́n ló Odùduwà náà wá bẹ́ẹ̀ báwa ni màá yí sọ pé mi kì í ṣe Odùduwà èyí táwa ń ṣe nípa àwọn olùtẹ̀lé àwọn hooligans àwọn olè ìjà ogun ẹ̀yàmẹ̀yà torí pé tá ànábì sọ fún àti òdè fún ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ lẹ́sàmì náà mọ̀dá ìlà sọ̀bíà wà lẹ́sàmì náà mọ̀nkọ́tàlà àlà sọ̀bíà wà lẹ́sàmì náà mọ̀mọ́ta ìlà sọ̀bíà. You cannot be a Muslim. Prophet ﷺ said he should not regard himself as part of us whose basis of admonition
clamor or propagations on ethnicism. The Prophet Father said, it cannot be part of us who fought on the basis of ethnicism. It cannot be part of us who died on the basis of ethnicity. So we cannot join those brigandage who said the only reason why they want separation is because of where you come from. For us, Nahali, Umatukum, Umatamu. We just want and the same. It doesn't matter where you come from. That is why those of us who are activists are usually labeled as pro-North. Those of us who are activists. And sometimes those who are activists in the North are also pro-West. And one who do and Jola and Riwaju. You will grow into more. Ṣé àwọn òdúdú àkọlójọ́ láàrin wájú? Bóyá yé fún wọn ni ẹ̀wọ̀n. Sáwọn àlè.
Wa alaikum salaam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ẹ̀yin ká gbọ́ lọ́n tóbi o. Ẹ bá kórúkọ lọ́n tóbi. I think your question has been answered. Ntí wọ́n tura láti sọ fún wa ní pé ìṣọ̀kan ni tiwa. Ìrẹ́pọ̀ la gbọ́dọ̀ wà. Èèyàn kan kì í ṣe sẹ́kítì ọlọ́run o. Market scheme ò dẹ̀ sí lọ́wọ́ èèyàn. Àwọn bàbá yìí nígbà tó ń ṣe mss wọn jọ ń ṣàṣepọ̀. Àwọn kan sọ pé ẹja máa orí da, àwọn kan ní rárá kò sí bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọn ò dé ìyá wọn gbò níjọmọ ẹ̀yà. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ti Zamani tiwa yìí. Tó bá ti nírun pọ̀, tó bá sálámọ̀ kan wọn ní dáhùn. Níṣòkòtò ẹ̀ bá ti fò sókè, tó bá ṣe kíní kan, ojú burúkú náà máa fi wẹ̀ ní ìyí ò dáa. I said it on my program, MITV. For about 3 weeks now, I was creating a topic. Islam made easy. Is it easy in your own environment? Are you making it easy for your neighbors? Islam made easy. Somebody went to the Prophet ﷺ and he asked him, if I believe in Allah, I observe my 5 canonical prayer, I pay my zakat, and I observe fasting in the month of Ramadan, and I perform pilgrimage. The Holy Jannah? Will I enter paradise? The Prophet said yes. Why you don't know now? Pillars of Islam, the mara here, anything to back here, supererogatory you. No wafi. Inside the motam, ye sunnah. Fari to the bay in Conron, your tag or the mashi. Monfala would not let Tawaba. Woman Tarapo, Wako. And to back your today, Afia yet. She must not. Monfala would not let Tawaba. Woman Tarapo, la you are or Afia yet. She brought a cachet. Well, not think about Bano sorrow. To be my boss side there. We need to understand what is called Dawa methodology. Our plans of our individual seven Robika, but the hikmah, but the more is also like Hasana. Invite people to the code of the Creator with wisdom and good admonition. She good admonition, or she not be obvious anybody can read. Subhanahu Robika. Both of times, look at her. I've been directed. Ejo, anything about it from one no only be launching. Ejo, everywhere. Mama wa, Ahaja President Gbe 20,000 naira, 25,000 naira. Eba go call on to the phone. Wọ́n ní àwọn ní Amira Form 1. Wọ́n ní owó ti Form 1 ó máa tẹ̀ wá lọ́wọ́ inshallah. Nísìnyí vote of thanks. Wọ́n ní kó lọ sọ́dọ̀ Barrister Lai Hassan, Chairman National Hajj Commission, to give us the vote of thanks.
Don't know why I have privilege of too many roles today. Observing is due to God, for use of time. The Prophet ﷺ said, Man la yashkurullah, la yashkurulnas. He who is unable to thank fellow human beings will not be grateful to God. I want to thank all the number of guests who are here present, the chairman of the nation, the single members of the houses of assembly, because of our excellency who is on point, the chairman of our association himself,
Magodo Muslim Association, I congratulate my chairman for making today come true. The chairman of IEF, various Mama, Alaja Sanako, Alaja Abala Jobi, and all of them others. Various fathers here present. The father of the day, Professor Lai was running health care at the and so many more who are here, whom I cannot mention from time. Raja Razak was there too. We thank all of you for making this happen. And I think our chairman is committed that not only will today happen, we shall become a model Muslim community for anyone anywhere in Nigeria. And may Allah make this possible. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
To Rabbi Noloku the same, because Sabati Shiraba not only sing, Atumatum from Mujomi, all of Joshua and Komoa, Ola Nabilolo. We'll be having the closing prayer now. I invite Imam Jamatu Islamia Magodo. Imam Abisemi, Allah Jeola, Bismillah.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ابن عبد الله محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وذريته التابعين أجمعين. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is the first without beginning, is going to be the last, nothing will succeed him. All praises belong to him alone. May the blessings of Allah continue to shower upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad, his household, his companions, and those who follow his way. We thank him so much, we thank Allah so much, who has given us opportunity to commence this program, and he gives us and permit us his favor to end it. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all this as an act of ibadah. Ọlọ́run bá kí wọ́n ṣàgbá ní ẹ̀sìn fún wa. Ọlọ́run kò gbà á lẹ́sìn fún wa. A bẹ̀rẹ̀ rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú àlàáfíà. Ọlọ́run tún ní ká parí ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú àlàáfíà. A dúpẹ́ fún ẹ o. Allahumma rabbana la taj'al lana dhanban illa ghafarta wa la hamma illa farajta wa la dayna illa qadayta ولا سوءا إلا أزلته ولا مسافرا إلا رددته ولا حجة من حوائج الدنيا والآخرة إلا قضيتها يا رب العالمين. اللهم عامنا وطولنا نيجيريا هو نور لنا خيارا ولا تسلط علينا بذنوبنا من لا يعافك ولا يرحمنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. صلوا على النبي الكريم.
For observation of our Zuri prayer, we can just move down to IAF 5 where we can observe our Zuri prayer. Come on, let's must ilé kejì bí náà ni o. Ọkùnrin sọ̀rọ̀ àti Zuri wa. Àṣekà Blakim, wọ́n sẹ́kùn minkum. Yad'una ila al-khayr wa ya'muruna bil ma'ruf. My sister, Dr. Salami, TVC News. and gentlemen, please, apology to Mr. Sholubi, Magodo Resident Association. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ẹ bá mi gba donation wọn. Chairman Magodo Resident Association. Ẹ bá mi lọ sọ́dọ̀ wọn, ẹ bá gba donation wọn. Thank you so much.
Tunapa.